tape.
The tape. Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. 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 Grind the tape.
The tape.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
The tape.
UGA game day, boy, we ball out. Pull up, put the whole conference in the doghouse. Leave them 6 feet, see me on the win streak. All-star status, go coach and the bench deep.
Right.
Offense on 10, how we run it? Your best ain't nothing, we gon' send them boys punting.
Yep.
Black and red, got them dead on arrival. Defense hunkered down for the tie. Hey, you don't want it with the dogs. Film guy on it, you don't want it with my dog. Break it down, play by play, that's the day-to-day.
Yeah.
They know we ain't come to play, boy, it's UGA.
Right.
Kirby Smart, I cannot play the fool. Back to back, we did not come to lose. Back to back, like we got something to prove. Pay your dues, dog nation on the move. What's up?
We do a little bit different around here.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
The tape. The tape.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face.
Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Shut up and grind the tape.
Shut up. Let's grind.
We ain't come to play, we ain't come to play. Them dogs in your face. Shut up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape. The
Shut
tape.
up and grind.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Let's grind.
Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape.
The tape.
Shut up and grind.
Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro. Grind the tape, bro.
Shut up.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Wednesday evening here on the show. What a day. What an absolute day. So just to peel the curtain back just a tad bit around here. Starting around noon every day, we turn our brains from journalists into content creators, and we start creating certain things called show sheets around here, all right? We start bouncing ideas around via the text message. Hey, we want to go this way. I want to talk about this tonight. I want to do this. I want to do that. And normally by about 5 o'clock, that thing's pretty buttoned up when we come in here. But both of the boys show up about 5:30, 6 o'clock. We start talking about, hey, we're going to bounce around this. It might feel like it's nice and fluid and three guys shooting the shit. It ain't, all right? Because everybody thinks they can do that with their buddies. It never goes all that well. You kind of have to plan these things out. Today's entire show sheet, blown up immediately, 4:30. When this one hits the timeline. Breaking, Sherrone Moore fired at the University of Michigan for cause. That cause, an affair. He was out here sleeping around. Apparently, reports are it's going to come out that he did a lot more than just this one affair. It sounds like this was a routine thing that it seemed like Michigan may have known about. I want to say this first and foremost, okay? I want to get this out up front of everything, okay? Everything. Because we have to say this now. We probably should say this every time something like this happens in public light. I hope everybody involved on both sides, every party involved with this situation is in a good mental spot. All that being said, there might be some jokes made tonight. Just going to go ahead and say that. Because the guy, I mean, he's already been arrested, guys. So this has gone from, in about a matter of 4 hours, we have gone from a point of, everything all right?
People are saying the mic sounded off.
We have gone from a point where my man, it's because that was unmuted. We've gone from a point from where my man was, you know, the Michigan head football coach to fired as the Michigan head football coach for cause to now being arrested. Reports are he might have broken into the assistant's home and he's been detained. Detained, not arrested. I think there's a difference there in those two verbiages. So you have to be very careful there. But, guys, Chiron Moore is 39 years old. He's married. He's the father of 3 girls. And this not only cost him potentially all of that, Obviously, with family life, that's the most important thing here, speaking as a father and a husband. But this dude was absolutely, you want to talk about being born on third base. This dude was handed a top 10 job. They didn't go out, search to see who was going to be the next head football coach. When Jim Harbaugh left, it was like, all right, Sherrone, here's your opportunity out of nowhere. You were on no candidates list elsewhere to be a head football coach, but you went from offensive coordinator for a couple of years to, boom, here's a top 10 job in college football. And we have completely messed that one up. I had a let's call it a family member. I had a family member that might have had to go through a couple of, let's call them defensive driving classes. Okay, in those defensive driving classes, let's say you might have gotten in trouble with the sauce. Okay, might have gotten a DUI perhaps. When you go through these defensive driving classes, guys, they make you line up all of your legal fees. They make you add them all up and then divide them by how many drinks you had that night. And then you come to find out like one vodka martini or whatever you were drinking that night cost you like $3,000 because you had to buy a lawyer, you had to go to defensive driving class, your insurance went up. You see what I'm saying? I think Chiron Moore, when all the dust has settled and people in Chiron Moore's situation should run such an exercise, because my man has been fired from a contract that was going to pay him annually $5.5 million until 2029. My math tells me that's $22 million we just lost. On top of that, let's say he's worth $10 million. She probably file her for divorce.
Yep.
You would imagine. Just go ahead and give half of that. Now we're up to $27 million. Now we got opportunity costs or lost sunken costs because of this. Just in terms of annual salary, we got an annual loss in salary we went from a head football coach making $5.5 million to maybe a position coach if we remain in football coaching. At a Division I level, if even we fall to that level as a Division I position coach, making maybe $500,000, $600,000. It's an annual net loss of $500,000 or $5 million over the next 5 years. So we're looking at what he cost himself $40 million. Now divide that over how many nights we were out here messing around, and you tell me if it was worth it.
No, it wasn't worth it.
Oh, no, he's got to answer that, big dog. Oh, yeah, we forgot child support. Don't even get me started on child support, because there's varying ages on that one. That's a ticking time bomb on each child until 18. So, yeah. And could be different depending on state. Not that I know these things, but, might have come from a divorce background myself. Child support is a very weird thing. It's all about whether or not your lawyer, like if the lawyer gets him for like percentage pay, it's not what we need to be talking about in this story anyways, but
No, it's not.
An all-time bag fumbling, an all-time first ballot Hall of Famer bag fumble right here from Sherrone.
Oh my God, it's one of the worst fumblings I think we've seen in college football in a long, long time. Not just the actions that led up to it, everything around this situation. Like you said, this wasn't a guy that necessarily, like, no offense to Sherrone Moore, worked his way up to earn a head coaching spot. Like, this was handed to you. You got the keys to a national championship roster because Jim Harbaugh was dipping out for the NFL and was like, here you go, buddy. This was a horrendous fumble situation.
I mean, not only that, but, you got backing from all kinds of people, despite the fact that your first year as head coach, it was okay. You beat Ohio State. That's really all that mattered that season. But then –
and beat Alabama in a bowl game.
Yep, beat Alabama in a bowl game. And then your boosters turned right around and was like, we'll make sure that you get Bryce Underwood. We'll do whatever it takes to make sure that you get that kid. And Bryce Underwood commits to the Michigan Wolverines, and now you got your QB of the future. And all of that now potentially gone for the Michigan and obviously for Chiron Moore.
There's a bunch of threads here on this storyline to pull. I want to pull them all. I don't mind sitting here and talking about all of this because this is one of the many, like the football that is played in college football, I think is really, really good. We have some blowouts. We're going to have some blowouts in this college football playoff coming up. I'll just go ahead and tell you. They're not all going to be nail biters, but at the end, we're going to get some damn good, entertaining football. But the storylines in this sport, this is an only college football story, I think. Obviously, like affairs and things like this are not unique to anything outside of football. It's not unique to football, I should say. But I think the most college football about this, and the reason I think if Chiron Moore really, really wanted to, he might be able to get his money out of that place. they definitely would have let him stick around if he beat Ohio State.
Oh my
They'd
God.
have swept this right under the rug, and it's nasty. It's not just – there are reports it's not just an affair. I don't know what's true about this. There are some like uglier things about this other than he was sleeping around on his wife.
I mean, it's not even just that. There's been, rumors and murmurings about this for months now.
Bro,
it's not like this broke today. Like, there's been burners all over social media.
I found tweets from late October. Burnerverse gets a huge dub on this one. The rare time internet rumors come out to be 100% fact. It's why every new rumor about this, bro, the Burnerverse had the arrest first.
Yeah.
The Burnerverse had the arrest 90 minutes ago, and ESPN talking about we got it. No. The dude with 24 followers had it. What the hell's going on up there in the north? How's that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's the craziest thing. One of the many crazy things about this story.
that's
Burnerverse, huge dub.
And again, that's what I was talking about of like, this is not a breaking news. This came out of nowhere. It did for a lot of people, but there's been a lot of rumblings underneath that basically
Dude,
have
I just
alluded to this
dismissed
was.
it. I thought no way. I thought even if it was, obviously it's not, again, not unique to Sherrone Moore. He is not the first football coach to be accused or caught sleeping with his assistant. I mean, how cliche could the guy be? You know what I mean? Just doing it. The assistant, the 50, what is it, 100% pay bump last year?
55%.
55% pay bump
reported.
for the assistant to the head coach. Come on, man.
I mean, there was rumors of this happening at an SEC school not too long ago. So, like,
Oh yeah, that they tried to run him out for that one. They just paid his buyout down there.
yeah, they went ahead and just
Yeah,
but
just ate that one.
this one is just, I mean, especially the timing of it, considering that based on the timeline of events on Twitter, it's like, well, sounds like things started rumbling around about this about 2 months ago. And then, so maybe that was already on Michigan's radar. And then you get past Ohio State game. And not only that, you get past early national signing day.
That's gross as well.
Early national signing day. And then after signing day, all this stuff comes out. We fired Chiron Moore. Now, that, of course, the kids have 30 days that they can get out of their letter of intent, all that good stuff. But still, that feels weird to me. Feels weird.
There's a lot in this story where I'm like, again, hope he's good. Hope everything in his mental space is all right. I hope he shakes back from this. But my God, man, how dumb could we be? The following of what is obvious, let's call them adult content creators on your public Instagram is freaking insane.
Yeah.
As someone who is like, this is a 39-year-old, guys. We found tweets of him today from 2012. He has spent the last decade and a half very, very well versed in social media. The idea that he either didn't know that people couldn't see who he was following, all the students, all the girls that he was following, all the for lack of a better term, porn stars he was following, all the things that he was following on a public platform. I find it really, really hard to believe, A, he just didn't know that people knew that, or B, didn't give a damn. Which one's worse? I don't know. You know what I mean? That part's crazy. We found out, I don't know if this is true, but Burnerverse been getting it. I saw a 24/7 of sports affiliated reporter say that this story broke. The investigation at Michigan began about his affair because he Uber delivered or DoorDashed a Plan B to the facility under his name. And that's how they kind of, again, I don't know, reports, affiliation, what is it, allegedly, right? Allegations. I don't know what to be true. Can't, have no idea. Everything about this story seems crazy, too crazy to believe, ends up being, true.
I mean, I think another thing that needs to be talked about is how much the reputation of just.
I thought you were going to say how much he obviously had a type, but go ahead.
I haven't done the research on that, but how much the reputation of just the brand of Michigan football has taken such a massive hit the last 5 years. Obviously, everything with the Connor Stallion stuff, now this, and now everything that seems to be intertwined that's coming out about it. Like, the whole Michigan men mantra is almost a punchline at this point because of how horrendously this program's been ran the last 5 years.
leaning right into it. I mean, their coach has just been detained, reports are, in very, very, shaky waters mental health-wise right now, it sounds like. That's why we're very cautious about this, despite the fact we're going to slide a joke in there, too, because this is insane.
Very.
But he's out here tweeting either beat Ohio State or go to jail. Beat Ohio State, win a natty, or go to jail. That's what he's out here tweeting. And, look, I'm with you. The Michigan man thing has, taken a massive hit. And you know what Michigan folks say? Oh, he's an Oklahoma grad.
Of course.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Because Harbaugh's a Stanford grad too. You're right, or wherever he went to school.
That Michigan men.
No, he was a Michigan
Harbaugh
man.
did go to
He was a
Michigan.
Michigan man.
He may be an Oklahoma grad, but Michigan men put him in that position.
Yeah.
Put him
And
up for that job.
He probably spoke about being a Michigan man, what it means to be a Michigan man.
I mean, it's the fact that the university obviously covered this up is what is the most disgusting part, in my opinion.
Kirby, you can't fire him for cause and cover it up.
No, and I think
They're either going to get sued or they're going to act like they didn't know about this until yesterday.
Yeah. Well, the other thing
And somehow hope to God they got paper trail of that. Because you know public request records have already been set. I guarantee you that's why you wonder why this story might have come out today. They might have been pinned up on the public request records dates up there. This stuff might have been broken by an actual news report station tomorrow because they got the school's email change. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like there are certain timelines in each state where you can actually get access to all of those things. I guess what's the next thread we want to pull? The fact that Biff Poge is the interim head football coach. We get a return of Biff Poggi to a sideline in a bowl game.
No, not just that. The next thread we need to pull is that if Sherrone Moore feels like he's gotten burned by this, like he's been unjustified.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah.
Are you
Do
going to
this.
start getting some airing out of dirty laundry from everything that happened from 2022 on?
Let it rain.
Hey, here's what happened when we were stealing signs. I've been fired,
Kirby.
so it doesn't even.
Here's the deleted text.
Yeah.
Remember, Sherrone was one of the guys that like famously deleted his entire text message thread. Like I think 2,600 text messages,
Yeah.
or something like that was in the original report. I love this theory.
Yeah, that's what
Bring the dirt.
this.
Give me my money, or I'm bringing the dirt.
Yeah, and I can't take credit for it because one of my friends brought it up to me. But like
Chat's
this,
saying this was known in the summer. How do you? Their asses are going to court, guys. They are going to court. If this is true, if they knew about this in the summer, if the athletic director at all had any conversation with this football coach about this, they are cooked. They're going to court. Now, not cooked for eternity. I mean, it's just $40 million, whatever it is. It'll be just no different than what. Did Pat Fitzgerald win that lawsuit against Northwestern?
Let me see.
I think he did.
I feel like he did.
I feel like he at least got paid off, and that's why he is back in college football. But man, you're right. You're right. I want to know how much dirt. I mean, the case is closed with the NCAA though.
oh yeah, we're not going to get any like legal actions from this, but just
Yeah.
getting some clarity of hey, here's what was really going on. Here's everything we covered up. Because yeah, there's not going to be an indictment from the NCAA, but there will definitely be an indictment on your reputation. So that's the interesting part that I want to see. I mean, there's.
I want to know
What?
guys, it's one of those times again where we got like some people saying they got problems with audio, some people saying we're too quiet. Every time I listen to the show lately, it's been fine. Now we've made some tweaks, but I'm standing on top of this MFer. I cannot get any closer. We cannot get any louder. I think we're good. The Biff Poggi storyline is funny though, because that guy is a hoot to watch.
Who would have thought when we were sad about him getting fired from the Charlotte job that, I don't know, a couple months later he'd be the interim head coach of Michigan football. I mean, he's going to coach in the bowl game for them. We're going to get to see some. We're going to get Biff Poggi interviews. We're going to get Biff Poggi. It's all back, dude. That makes me happy. That's the one silver line to come out of this is that we will get Biff Poggi in a Power 4 major college football role for one game.
I guess that's the other interesting part of all of this is now like the names that are being stirred up in the head coaching, like the soon-to-be head coaching search of who's going to take that job. The Kalen DeBoer is already being linked to it. Of course, Michigan people are giving their ideal candidates, and based on other job searches, we know how that one goes. We can hire anybody that we want. So let me put out every name, every great coach in football right now, the NFL and college football. So that'll be even more interesting because to me, it's like, how do you look at that job right now and feel like, yeah, that's a step in the right direction for me?
Oh, I mean, you know how it is with fans. They think they got everybody. They think it's done. I heard somebody say it's done with Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart going to Michigan.
Right. Oh, and that Georgia's getting Kurt Cignetti if he does.
Well, yeah, and then the same thread I saw, DeBoer's going to Penn State, which apparently there's real smoke there. I don't know. Or Michigan, excuse me, not Penn State. That guy is going to keep getting put up for these jobs. Has he gone out and full firm fledged shut it down I am Alabama's head football coach.
I mean, he shut down that there was no ever talks between him and Penn State that he is an Alabama coach. But
he hasn't done that. Guys, quit asking me about it. I am the Alabama head football coach.
even if you do that, take that with a grain of salt. Anytime a coach says I'm not doing this or I'm going to do this or I'll be here next year, like you have to take that with a grain of salt. We've seen so many CYA examples.
So if it's not DeBoer, which I don't think it is, I think DeBoer would be absolutely crazy to leave that job for any other job than an NFL job.
I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you're not happy in Alabama. Maybe you feel like you are.
You think that's for real?
Could be.
Could be. Yeah, I mean, we don't know nothing about.
I mean, from the outside looking in, this is a guy who's never had to deal with the SEC pressure, the SEC demands, the cruelty and the callousness that fan base can have if you're not delivering national championships. And by the way, you're following up the GOAT. Like
Brody paid to say that, so I'm gonna have to read that. That is crazy.
Oh wow,
that is crazy. That'll be interesting.
hey, he paid.
Wow.
Good Lord.
DeBoer's a no, but apparently there was a plane. Have you seen this?
Yeah, the plane talk is always interesting.
I
with
know.
these.
I'm not ruling out.
I always think nowadays too that stuff could be so easily photoshopped. You know,
It could be, yeah.
so easily photoshopped. But apparently there was a plane that had a private jet that went from Tuscaloosa to Ann Arbor and back.
There's Detroit.
Arbor?
Or Detroit.
You don't think like my immediate thought to that was
How far is Detroit from Ann Arbor, by the way?
No clue.
no
I'll
idea.
Google it.
My immediate thought to that is like that very easily could have been like a former Alabama player that went to the SEC championship game, flew out of Tuscaloosa, and went back to the Lions. Like Terrion Arnold plays for the Lions. I don't know if he's at the game, but very could easily be something like that. Flew in private to Tuscaloosa, went back to the program for a little bit, went to the SEC championship game, and then flew back because they played on Thursday.
You think he got it like that?
I mean, he's an NFL starter for the Detroit Lions.
You're right. He got it like that. All right, so Detroit's only 45 minutes from Ann Arbor, so
Not far at all.
Not far.
that's a Uber.
It is.
And the private airport might be west of Detroit, you know.
I mean, yeah. I'm not ruling out anyone of Lincoln Riley or Kalen DeBoer or anyone. Like, I've seen
Jed Fish.
Could be. I mean, I've seen Brian Kelly linked to this.
That's got to be Brian Kelly doing that. Come on, guys. You can't sell a fan base on Brian Kelly right now, can you?
No, you cannot. But
I don't know. You might be able to sell Michigan fans on just about anybody right now.
Is that fan base even looking inward yet? It's been a lot. It's been a lot of filth. It's been a lot of gross. I saw a tweet, and I don't know how true it is. 7 football members or coaches or staffers have been arrested since 2018 or something like that.
Yeah, man, that's not good.
I mean, they had an offensive coordinator that was hacking into the school's Wi-Fi and creeping in on unsolicited Snapchat photos and things like that on students.
gross.
They had a non-football related staffer get caught in a Walmart on one of those very viral videos. If you know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the cheating scandal. It's kind of gross. Hey, but you got a title though, so
Yeah,
no one
no.
can take that. Big rings that you can buy from what's that ring company? Jostens. You can buy a big ring from Jostens, and you got that. So that's cool.
My next thought is like, what's going to be the trickle-down effect from all of this? Because Michigan looked like they were building back up to where they were going to be one of these teams again, that they were going to be one of the top teams in the Big Ten. I mean, heck, they got Savion Hyder in this class. They got the Meadows kid in this class. They had Bryce Underwood. Looked like pieces and chips were falling into place again for them to do this down the road. And now you question everything in that 2026 class of, are those kids going to stay? Is Bryce Underwood going to stay? Like all these players now, this might set them back. This might push them back.
Yeah, not only that, like there's been so many movings and so many new hires around other colleges that poaching is going to be more rampant than ever. You don't think Lane Kiffin is called into a handful of these rosters where this type of situation is going on?
Dude, that was my first thought when this hit the line was like, first of all, there had been rumors in the football world that Bryce Underwood was already calling around saying, I want $6 million, I want out. That was what the agent was doing. And my first thought was, well, there goes his leverage against those schools because we know you want out, big dog, and we know you ain't going back. Now my thought is, he's calling Baton Rouge. I mean, this is an LSU Tiger commit to Brian Kelly, of all people. Now, I'm sure it was NIL-based then, and it was NIL-based the reason he went to Michigan, but that football coach just got promised $20 million to spend on football players. There ain't no shortage in cash down there. Now, I also know about Lane. I don't think he'll ever have a quarterback that can't run. Bryce would look incredible in that offensive system.
Yeah.
That would be my first phone call if I were Bryce and if I were Lane.
I mean, yeah, the social media buzz
I'd be calling his agent because I'm not allowed to talk to him. That'd be illegal. Wink, wink. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, the social media buzz has been like Bryce Underwood will be an LSU Tiger come the 2026 season. So it's certainly all directions point that way. But, I mean, this is going to be a mass exodus from this roster you'd kind of fear because this isn't like, our head coach was playing bad. Like, our head coach just flat out got fired. And say what you want about the choices he made off the field. Like, players kind of love Sherrone Moore. So when you no longer have that as your figurehead. What?
What? The chat saying he might bring Trinidad Chambliss over with him to LSU. My sources say they got to wait for whether or not he's actually got another year. Which everybody gets years now, so he probably going to get one, but he's got to get cleared.
It's become one of the more difficult things to track in college football. You know,
Eligibility?
eligibility used to be like one of the easiest things to know of, like, oh, he's a red shirt.
Yeah.
He's got these many years. Oh, he doesn't have a red, like all these things. Like, you knew exactly how many years everybody had. Now I don't know. He might.
It's hard for us, and we actually care. Imagine how hard it is for the NCAA.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I still can't get over all the money this man lost.
Foolish.
Should we get into some other news? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Like, subscribe, rate, review if you have not already. Got a lot of new people in here today. If you are new, Brooks Austin, the film guy. We talk a lot of ball around here. We normally don't hammer out all the drama. We're going to talk some real football here in a second because the University of Tennessee hired a new defensive coordinator. But make sure you're hitting that like, subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff like I just mentioned. If you haven't noticed already this week, but me and the boys have been rocking the hell out of Roback.
Oh, yeah.
And you already know that it's holiday season, all right? And you need to go holler at our friends over at Roback. They are official friends around here nowadays. I think one of these members around here going to be rocking Roback every single night on this network. And if you use promo code FILM today over on Roback.com, you can get, guys, 20% off. 20% off over at Roback today using promo code FILM. It is Christmas season, all right? There's a lot of opportunities to go over there and get something that you like and get, again, 20% off using promo code FILM. Shout out to our friends over at Roback. Y'all been loving on Roback lately.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
Wore
I had
mine
my-
again to the studio tonight after wearing it last night.
I had mine on yesterday.
I'm gonna say what? I'm gonna say this. Been a lot of sponsors try to get in on the action here with us. Few have sent as much high quality merch as Roback sent to us.
Blessed us up, that's for sure.
Blessed
Complete new
us
wardrobe
up
from Roback. Thank
over
you,
there
guys.
with Roback. Shout out to our friends over at Roback. Again, promo code FILM. Jim Knowles hired as defensive coordinator at the University of Tennessee. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Got to be honest. I know a lot of people probably connect me with Tim Banks' criticism because you probably have never seen. I don't know how many people are breaking down Tennessee film nationally. I don't know. Like, other than this place, like real full in-depths. Here's why things are going wrong. Oh my God, y'all died on man-to-man coverage against Georgia. It was bad. Look at this. Why isn't your coordinator fixing these things, right? So I do feel as if I'm not responsible, but I'm connected. When he gets fired, I got a lot of, hey, look, Brooks, this happened. And I never called for it. I never thought, I figured it might happen because it was just that bad of a performance as a unit, especially his unit, right? The safety unit that he is responsible for, and the defense as a whole. But guys, he had progressed as a unit. All right, they were like in the 100 range. They got in the mid-90s. They got into the 70s, the 35s, then the top 7 last year. And then this year, it all went to shit. And now they got a brand new defensive coordinator out there in Knoxville, and it's Jim Knowles. And I'll say this, man, like, this is the antithesis of Tim Banks, is Jim Knowles. Like, in my mind, Tim Banks is a man-to-man pressure dude. Like, he wants to get after the quarterback. He wants to create havoc plays. He wants to play bump and run, man-to-man coverage. Like, this dude is so much this that he tried to play one-on-one man-to-man coverage against Ohio State last year in a playoff game for 4 quarters to the tune of 40-plus points. Like, it was that much of a hard-headed, this is what I do. You know what I mean? Knowles is the opposite. Knowles is a zone merchant. Knowles is a guy that is going to play a ton of zone coverage. So completely different there. Now, that comes with its own negatives, right? Like, if you're a zone defensive football coach, we're learning this with Kane Womack here on this network. It didn't look all that great last year because they hadn't had the whole entire defense installed. They hadn't coached how they treat certain formations with certain zone coverages, how they treat certain motions, how they adapt to certain things. So they had to be really simplified last year and thus really redundant in scheme, and they got picked apart. It's not like that this year for them. I would imagine it's going to be a slow build out there with Jim Knowles. The other question I have about him is, like, guys, this is an older football coach. I highly doubt he's going to be some juice, merchant or juice presence on the recruiting trail, and that's kind of important. Like, they've recruited really, really well. They've recruited defensive players really well under Heupel too. And I don't know how much that had to do with Banks. I have no idea. I don't know if he was a player's guy that young men could relate to, that they could, hang out with or see themselves playing for. I don't know the deal. I know the results. The results were not good enough this year, but they damn sure were last year. Mm-hmm. Were you as conflicted as I was? Did you think this was a one-off season, or was it that bad? I'll tell you this much. Bobo boxed his ass every time he ever saw him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that much. So did Monken. Monken got after him. So I just – were you surprised?
Well, I mean, Tennessee fans are going to feel some type of way.
Oh, they feel vindication.
They're going to feel some type of way when they get an offense that they feel like can compete with anybody in the country. And I'm sure Tennessee fans felt like, man, if we just had like a B defense, a B-rated defense, if we just had like a good – average defense, we would be in contention in the SEC right now. We'd probably be in the playoffs, but you didn't have that in the secondary this year, so they probably felt some type of way about that.
Yeah, I felt like it was always kind of and not to dog on his philosophies, but he was very, very set on running a certain scheme that did not always reflect the personnel you had. This is not a man coverage football team this year. This roster's not good enough for it. That secondary is not good enough. Maybe if you had Jermon McCoy, maybe if you had some of the other guys, yeah, but he very obviously did not adapt, and I think that's what ultimately cost him his job.
Yeah, I mean, the Jermon injury happened in January.
Yeah, like –
wasn't it late January, Jonathan?
Yeah.
Early
it was
February?
early January, I think.
I mean, we had all offseason to start thinking about becoming a zone football team, knowing that Colton Hood and, Ty Redmond might be our starting corners. They're good football players. Colton will be a top 45 pick, I would imagine, top 60 pick. But, man, we still can't even leave guys like that on one-on-one islands for 4 quarters.
No, you cannot.
Not in this conference, not against the opponents that they play.
Here's my question, because
What's up?
I've seen this twice now. I saw it when Jim Knowles went to go be the defensive coordinator at Penn State, and I'm seeing it again when Jim Knowles got announced to be Tennessee's defensive coordinator, of Ohio State fans saying, oh, don't worry, they'll learn. They're like, I don't know why they have beef with Jim Knowles, the Ohio State fans, that is.
The only thing I can think about, he left.
yeah.
It sounds like they'll learn that
Penn
this guy
State.
isn't what you think he is.
I mean, did he not? I mean, the defense looked pretty daggum good on the road to their national title last year.
For sure, and that's why I was like, I don't understand where this is coming from. But they're like, Penn State fans learned about it. Now Tennessee fans are going to learn about this. But
Yeah,
the
man,
coaching world
Now,
obviously thinks of this
again,
guy as one of them ones.
The Penn State complaints. I spoke to a friend of the show. I don't want to betray any confidences, but I don't think he'll care. Landon Tingwell, I mean, obviously a Penn State content creator, but a guy that covers film and covers college football really, really well. Landon reached out to me and said, like, this dude does not adjust. This dude will not. And I remember Landon getting really, really upset after the UCLA game because they didn't spy Imaliava until midway through the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And they did so with Denai Dennis Sutton, a 270-pound like defensive end, a 4-eye, basically. It's like, come on, man, what are we doing? So that stuff is like Those are serious concerns if you're, really, really digging into it. But no, man, I think most of the world thinks this is a really, really good hire. I'm just more of like, hey, don't be going crazy if it doesn't go good early, because it hasn't gone good early at both recent stops.
This is very true.
And, I mean, let's not forget that this Tennessee defense is going to lose some really valuable players this offseason. So it might take 2 years before you really start building this defense back up to where you want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
Did y'all see that Notre Dame's going bowling?
Oh my! I told Jay Will about this.
Damn,
when
so you
I
knew
saw
about
it.
this.
Yeah,
I was expecting
saw
both
it.
of you two to go, huh?
No, I saw
Hey, guys, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, they're going bowling. Literally.
per their Twitter.
Per their Twitter for charity. Not going to
Taking
play
their
a game,
ball home.
but they're going to have my favorite part about that was a competitive bowling event. So y'all are competing. That's good to know. I'm glad to know that y'all still compete out there. Y'all don't care about 15 extra practices. Y'all don't care about bowl games. Y'all don't care about anything but national titles. But I'm glad to see y'all will compete rolling balls and hitting the white pins. That's awesome. That's cool.
Hey, it's for charity.
Hey, we love charity.
But yeah, them putting in there, we're taking our ball and we're going bowling. Like, shut up.
Classic. Like,
Get outta here.
Oh, we're trolling.
Did you see that they Ivan Mizell is a former a very historic college football writer. I don't know if y'all know Ivan or have heard of Ivan. Probably before y'all's time. But Ivan wrote a book about Frank Leahy, Notre Dame football coach, and the book is currently like in its rollout as a seller, right? So the book company's putting a lot of money into events and doing a lot of things for the book. My man's also on the college football playoff committee, and Notre Dame decided they were going to rip his book from their bookshelves on the school store and school campus. They also canceled his book tour on campus. He's a Notre Dame grad, by the way. Did all of this because he's on the committee. It's like an administration. These are not like fans making these. This is administration.
Yeah,
making these
and that was
decisions.
the issue I had with the whole time.
And they got such heat from the journo world, rightfully so. I mean, the big journos, oh my God, did they band together last night on this? He's back having his book tour. His book's back in stores. Everything's copacetic, but they tried. They tried.
Yeah, Notre Dame, you realize there's more than one member on the committee, right? You can't just point the finger at one
by
guy.
the way, by rule, he has to omit himself. He does not have to leave the room, but he can't speak when they're talking about Notre Dame. Look, I'm not all pro committee. I'm just saying, come on now. Y'all got to be a little bit better.
Did you see where Front Office Sports released an article talking about how their TV ratings don't match their brand prestige?
Send me that. That's gold.
Mm-hmm.
That's gold. Pun intended.
That's what I was getting at.
Nice.
Double pun. Speaking of gold, how about a
Ooh.
quick shout to our golden friends over at Sleeper? In case you don't know by now, Sleeper is a fantasy sports and real money gaming app that is focused on bringing people together through sports and gaming. It has one of the most fastest growing platforms in the entire world with over 6 million active users as of 2023.
Go ahead.
What?
I'll coach you up post game. Keep going.
All right. Well, I've lost my place here in the ad.
6 million active users, the number one place
Highest
for daily
level-
action. Go ahead,
Highest
baby.
level of engagement per the industry. It's not just about sports at Sleeper. It's about building personal connections and lasting memories. If you head over there today and use promo code Brooks, you will get a 100% deposit match up to $100. What does that mean? Put 100 in, you get 100 back. They are currently operational in 25 states. Again, that is promo code Brooks. Thank you all to Sleeper.
Jay, well, chat's telling me that the Film Guy Fantasy Playoffs start this weekend. How you doing in that? Are you in that?
We haven't updated it, and
No, not that. I'm talking about our actual Film Guy family, like Discord. Like, are you in fantasy with those guys anymore?
Oh yeah.
How are you any decent?
Not a good year for me.
Not a good year for you.
In the 3 leagues that I'm in, including the Film Guy Fantasy, I went 0 for 3 for the playoffs.
Oof.
I think I finished dead last in 2 of them.
So, if you want to get in on the Film Guy Fantasy, patreon.com/Brooks Austin, join our Discord. I was bowing out year 1. So
Now,
we're good on
I will
that.
say this, though.
Yeah.
Can we please not schedule the fantasy draft, a college football Discord fantasy football league? Can we please not schedule the draft during one of the first weekends of college football?
Yeah, that would be ideal.
How can we maybe not do
Week
that?
0?
Yeah. No, week 1.
Oh,
week
dude.
1 Sunday night football game. We're scheduling a fantasy draft.
Is that Justin Nichols' fault?
I think it was, and I got heat for not being available because I'm watching football with my dad on week 1 of college football.
He's off the battlefield for decisions like that. I question your decision-making processes like that. I can't have you running.
Yeah.
Running.
I don't think I should be the one looked at funny for
Sport
missing
class.
that one.
I can't trust you that
Just
way.
saying. Watching ball with pops.
Insane. Army Navy's this weekend.
Yeah, it
yes,
is.
it
How about that? Army Navy this weekend. You know what my favorite part about Army Navy is?
What's that?
I think this is the last football game that when I watch it, I still feel 100% that these two teams and every dude on the field is playing for the front. Because there is nothing on the back. There ain't no name on that back plate. They ain't doing it for them. They're doing it for we. They're doing it for the collective. They're not doing it for the NIL collective. You know what I mean? I think this is the only college football game we got left. Now, most of these guys are there because they potentially one day want to serve their country and they want to play college football.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are the Elo Medozis that end up playing at a service academy and transferring out. There's the cat that plays for Indiana, the linebacker that was an academy serviceman and then transferred up to a bigger school. There are stories like that nowadays in college football. But every other football game I'm watching played, I feel like there are individuals out there playing for individual goals and they happen to be on a team. This does not feel like that, and I truly believe it never, ever will. This game will always feel like college football in its purest form.
I could not agree with that more. It feels like you are watching a college football game from the 70s, not only because of everything you just said, but because of the style of play that it is. It is not, air it out, air raid type football where there's going to be explosions all over the field. This is hard-nosed, just running up the middle type of football that everyone says, it's the way God intended football to be. It is football in its purest form, and like I said, it does feel like a 70s football game where it's the 22 guys on the field hate the other 11, and that is all that matters, and they are trying to win for their team, for the pride of their school. It is one of my favorite games of the year.
I mean, anytime you get a call, like any type of weekend where all eyes are set on one main event, like connected to anything, and for college football, it is known as Army versus Navy weekend. Like that's what this Saturday is dedicated to, and everybody sits down, or majority of people, I should say, sit down and they watch this game, and that's what everybody's watching because that's all that's on. Like there's something special about that when you get something that is purely dedicated to one specific thing, and this is the right thing for something to be dedicated towards.
By the way, no more elite flyover ever than this daggone football game.
Yeah, no, of course
I'm sure
not.
the Air Force has got some crazy ones, but I feel like they dumped the clip on this one.
Definitely.
I ain't seen an Air Force game ever heavily televised as much as this one is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm looking forward to this one specifically, and kind of not because, this is –
I just shot Gary a text.
I'll say
I wonder how many of these he's called.
that was about
Because
to
the
be
CBS
my-
broadcast has had it for as long as I've been alive.
Yeah, that was about
Watching
to be,
football. That was where you were going next?
Yeah, I was gonna say this is Gary's swan song. This is it after that. We got
Yeah.
this with Vern a couple.
Is this his last game ever?
Yeah,
Oh, God.
the retirement, baby.
I'm going to cry.
That's why I was trying to get it. Yeah, we got this with Vern a couple seasons ago. We're getting it with Gary now. The fact that it has been the only game for a while that it's been the only game on Saturday that you watch, and it's been CBS's A Squad. It makes it feel so much bigger too. It's one of my favorite games of the year. And I don't mean that sarcastically.
You know what my favorite part about texting Gary Danielson is?
What's that?
He signs off every text message, Gary D.
Oh, that's a setting you can have in your phone.
Don't tell me that. I like to envision Gary Danielson sitting there typing out a very long message and then entering the last one and going, Gary D.
No, that's a sign off.
That's
can have
such
in your
a.
phone.
I don't want to not to put Gary Danielson in this category, but that's such a grandpa thing.
Yeah, it's an
of
older guy thing.
Hey, you get a text from your grandpa.
It's not an automatic thing. He just did it on one big long text message.
Huh.
And
Yeah.
then was like, Gary D.
You get a text from your grandpa, and it's like, "Hey, this is Grandpa." Like, yeah, I got your phone number, Grandpa. I know exactly who this is, but they have to let you know, "Hey, this is me." Don't
Yeah,
think
I
it's
know.
anybody else.
It is. I'm excited for this game.
We've had a lot of, the more and more we go to game day and things like this, we've had a lot of people that were like, no way, that guy watches this show? I think Gary was the first one. I'm like, what?
We had him on.
Gary, we had him on
One of the
a
first
year and a half
times we
ago.
got
2
together.
seasons
He was still
ago.
on the SEC contract. It was
Yeah.
it was his SEC last year. And it was like, what?
Gary out here grinding.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
We're doing something right.
Yeah,
Shout
that
out to Gary Danielson.
That was
man.
like
I'll be locked into that
20,000
game, man.
subscriber Film Guy Network.
Yeah, dude. Gary, and the reason he was watching, I would imagine it's the reason why some media members watch us is because he was trying to figure out if he was coming to call a Georgia game, he was trying to figure out what Georgia was doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, it makes complete sense why those guys would watch because like it's a great way of like refreshing your memory on some players and just kind of getting a good look at them.
Not just guys like that. I mean, our bio on our YouTube is there for a reason. It says your favorite college football coach subscribes. You should too. A lot of people that watch that don't talk in the chat, you know?
Right.
So, yeah, we're doing something right. Must be doing something right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to do superlatives? I
Yeah,
think
we
this will be
just-
fun.
Let's hit some superlatives.
Let's do some superlatives. Here's what we got going on in terms of superlatives, chat. I want your answers. Start firing them off. First and foremost that we're going to vote on, biggest disappointment. By the way, take it however you want. Take these categories however you want, all right? You get any type of category. You can go players that were disappointments. You can go coaches, teams, whatever you have it. You go biggest disappointment right there. We got biggest overachiever, same thing. Most lived up to it, meaning, hey, a lot of hype going into it, and they absolutely met the bar. Game of the year, and we have most entertaining, all right? We ready?
Let's do it.
Let's start with biggest disappointment. I got a group of 3 teams, and I think these are home runs. If you got a fourth, I'd be shocked that fit in this type of category.
Well, this is
Clemson, diabolical failure for anybody that doesn't wear a mustache on this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Florida State, absolute diabolical failure. Though I did say going into the season, bought a whole bunch of bad groceries. Now, they didn't spoil week 1. They spoiled weeks 2 through 13.
Yeah, and that was why I didn't have Florida State on there because you did beat a top 10 football
And
team.
my number 3, Penn State.
Penn State was my.
Ooh, I got a fourth.
Who?
I definitely got a fourth.
Who?
Yeah.
LSU.
LSU.
LSU is a
You're
huge
damn right.
disappointment this
You're
year.
damn right.
How
I
could
also-
it be twisted any other way?
I also considered putting LSU there. The only reason why I did not put LSU is because the state of those.
QB injury?
No, the state that those two programs are in right now is vastly different. LSU at least feels good about their future. They feel like they got the best
Yeah.
head coach in
Like,
that
you gotta
entire
come up.
search. Penn State is in shambles.
Oh, Penn State's the poster child.
Yeah, they have the worst recruiting class they've ever signed. They don't have a head coach, or they didn't up until last week. Like
Ooh.
there is a lot to be disappointed.
Best
for
submission
Penn
I've
State.
seen from the chat so far. Player disappointment, DJ Lagway.
Oh, definitely.
Man. I did think, though, I think this offseason we watched that Tulane film, and we were like, uh-oh. I think we were the first group to be like, whoa, hey, whoa, what's going on here? Why does this guy keep throwing it at the other team?
Yeah.
Update: he still did that.
Hunter
Yeah.
Lacey's talking about that Auburn's a disappointment, guys.
No, they're not.
Hugh Freeze sat in front of everybody and told you they just needed to be bowl eligible this year.
Auburn
we
is
knew
not
what
a
the
good-
Yeah,
baseline
they met
was.
the bar.
Yeah, they
Got
nearly
it.
met the bar.
Hey, I'm not unrealistic. I'm not disconnected from the program. I know that we at least got to be bowl eligible.
Yeah.
And that was a month after saying, 9 wins, 10 wins,
Oh, yeah.
back to back off to
So
bowl eligible.
No,
bowl
they
eligible.
didn't disappoint this year. They nearly met
Ooh,
expectations.
Mike Shula, big L's in the chat. Oh,
Yeah.
had them frat boys rioting.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
But did
gosh,
people
yeah, they did.
expect a lot from Mike Schuler, or was that just a, hey, they got Lenore
Well,
Sellers?
I think we learned a solid lesson. I think we should learn that if you haven't called plays since 2016 and you've never called plays in college, you might not work 10 years later.
yeah, that was kind
I
of
think
like,
that's a safe assumption moving forward. I think we got that one.
and we had those questions going in. It was like, Mike Schuler, okay. Like, you've got Lenore Sellers, you've got Nick Harbor, who might be getting better this year. We'll see. I never felt like I had high expectations for.
I mean,
Mike
I
Schuler.
thought Lenore Sellers had Heisman chances this year.
You were not alone on that. There were a lot of people.
I mean,
that
he's got
thought
the
same
talent
thing.
to do it.
I mean,
I had no idea that they didn't get better anywhere.
he felt like the
can get better
unanimous
anywhere.
first overall pick heading into this year.
We got told that in Indy.
Yeah, like everybody's like, we're just waiting on
We
Lenore Sellers.
couldn't have people stop telling us that they were going to draft Lenore Sellers.
Probably not doing that anymore.
Probably won't do it anymore.
But he'll go to the combine and everybody be like, ooh, actually,
Ooh.
I could do that.
I don't
can
think he
fix
goes this year. I think
Probably
he's back
not.
in college
Probably
next year.
not.
Also, I don't think he runs at the combine even when he gets there. I don't think he works out.
Just let the tape speak.
I mean, I wouldn't either, by the way.
Yeah,
I think you're going to – there's so many dumbasses that will mislabel you if you go out there and run a 4.38.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
can only – isn't that crazy? At quarterback, if you're in a certain situation, you're only going to get labeled the wrong thing if you run too fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's stupid. Anyways, where are we at next? Did we settle on one final announcement? Biggest
Penn State
disappointment?
has
Penn
to be
State
there.
is the biggest.
I'm with you. I felt like it was a championship window. Biggest overachiever. I've got two nominees. And they're the
I do
same
too.
theme.
There's only one, in my opinion.
I got mine. Do you know who they are? The Auburn and Florida defenses.
That's fair.
Those guys played great ball when they had no reason to.
Yeah.
Had no reason to play as hard as them MFers did. And they kept those sorry sacks in football games all year long.
Yeah, I mean, it got to a point where everybody's like, oh, they're bound to quit at some point. It's bound to just crumble
Now,
out from underneath them at some
Auburn's
point.
defense had that one bad day against Arkansas. There's a couple, here and there. But
Vanderbilt.
my God, what a performance from those defenses this year.
Yeah, absolutely agree. I think there's definitely a better option than this one, but I put this team down because I can remember how I talked about them going into this year, how I didn't expect them to elevate what they did last year or overachieve compared to what they did last year. I thought Ole Miss had a heck of a season. I thought they
Yeah.
overachieved. I labeled this year as I think they're going to take a step back. I was like,
Let's see what Austin Simmons is.
yeah, I was like, look at how many people they lost on defense. They lose their quarterback. They lose some weapons. Like, I thought that was year where they went all in, and then this year was going to be, okay, now we kind of resettle everything.
Again, don't want to betray any confidences. But I think they thought they pulled a rabbit out of the hat going 11-1 and doing what they did because they knew that last year's roster was far more talented and it was hellified water just to go 9-3 last year. The fact that they were 11-1, the fact that they overcame hurdles that they did, the fact that they hit gold with a Division II quarterback, all the things that had to go right for that staff this year for them to be back in the situation that they were supposed to be in last year, is part of the reason why he's at LSU. I think they felt like they were jumping over hurdle after hurdle after hurdle, overcoming massive different things, and he's like, man, look at what I'm doing here. Imagine how much easier it's going to be over there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, it does make sense. I think we all have to agree, though. The Vanderbilt Commodores are the biggest overachiever of the season.
Yeah.
The Vanderbilt Commodores
I had them in a different category.
Had a legitimate argument to be a college football playoff team in a year that they had a Heisman contending quarterback. That is overachieving to the utmost degree.
Marcus Freeman to Michigan. Yeah, right.
He's getting a lot of buzz.
NFL buzz, I
around
could
the
see
Giants.
that. I could see that. Somebody say he opted out of his job. Nice. See, that was big content guy. Most lived up to?
I have two options.
It was Indiana for me, by the way. The most overachiever as a whole. Like, I did not.
Indiana's
I did
a
not
great
see.
answer as
That's
well.
a really good answer as well.
I mean,
I would put them and Vanderbilt in the same category.
I thought they were going to get beat by Oregon.
Yeah.
Hell, looking into the season, I thought they were going to get beat by Penn State.
Mm-hmm.
Preseason, I thought it was 10-2. Like, we might see you arguing and lobbying for a college football playoff at the end of the year. Nope, Big Ten champs. Most lived up to the hype. Now, I think there's one candidate here, especially if you put all context involved. I was one of the very many people that saw that clip of Diego Pavia on Friend of the Show's Bussin' with the Boys and talking all that smack this offseason. Vandy's going to be the standard. Vandy's going to be national championship caliber. I'm going to win a Heisman. That dude hyped himself up to the point where everybody was like, bro, chill out. You're at Vandy. And he went out and did every single thing apart from going and playing a playoff. And I feel like he could argue that he was robbed of doing so and should have been there any other year. That dude went far beyond anything I ever thought he was going to be from a I met what I said I was going to do standpoint. I thought maybe like 3,400 total yards again. Y'all be this methodical squeeze you offense. That dude threw for 500 yards in a game this year. He had 500 total yards in a game this year.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I have a team and a player. This team, looking at it preseason, this was the easiest one to say, yeah, that team is going to the playoff. That team is probably going undefeated because of that schedule. It's Ohio State. I mean, just look, other than the Texas game, that was like the only one where it was, oh, they might be able to get you there. Like, Ohio State had the path and everything available to them. They had Jeremiah Smith coming back. They had Caleb Downs coming back. I thought that was you lived up to what you were supposed to do. You were supposed to go to the Big Ten championship. You're supposed to be a top 4 seed in the playoff. You are what you are. They lived up to the expectations.
Yeah, I think the team for me, and I went about this a little differently. I didn't label it as hype. I just labeled it as expectations. The team that most lived up to the expectations for me was the Michigan Wolverines, not pertaining to anything that's happened within the last 24 hours. We came into the season, we looked at them in the offseason, we looked at the schedule and said, there's probably 3 to 4 losses on the schedule this year. They're going to be one of these top-tier Big Ten teams, but they're not going to be competing for a title. I feel like all throughout the year, that's exactly what Michigan was. They were just a step below the top teams and a step above the middling ones. I feel like Michigan was the team that lived up to the expectations. If you had told me in September of this year that Michigan would be 9-3 at the end of the season, I said I firmly believe that. So they lived up to expectations most for me.
Now, a player that I said lived up to my expectations going into the year. I mean, I set the baseline. Huh?
Mendoza?
No, but you're close. For what I set the line at, for what I believed in this guy jumping a conference, like upping the competition, for what I expected John Matier to do this year at Oklahoma, he has met those expectations. Like I said going into this year of, hey, the completion percentage wasn't all that great at Washington State, probably going to be slightly worse. He went from 64% to 62%. And I said there's probably going to be some more turnovers in this league because he's bound to do that. He threw 10 interceptions in the SEC this year. So for what I set the expectations for it, but I was like, hey, he's still going to ball, though. You're still going to love him. People are still going to be attracted to him. I was like, that he met the expectations of what I set for him at Oklahoma.
Would y'all put A&M in that category of overachiever?
Yeah, for sure.
Year 2 Mike Elko
definitely
making the playoff?
overachieved.
Should we go straight to game of the year?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I got a bunch of nominees.
There's a good one.
Here's my list, and let me know if I left anybody out. Oregon versus Indiana, Georgia versus Ole Miss, Georgia versus Tennessee, Ohio State versus Texas, Ohio State versus Indiana. I thought the Michigan versus Oklahoma game was really, really fun to watch. I thought it was scenic more than anything. I thought, like, if I could show somebody Saturday night college football between two blue bloods, I might show them something like that. Something about that Norman Stadium at night on television looks beautiful.
And it really helped that weekend there wasn't a whole lot else going on.
Right.
There wasn't much going on there. And then I put the Iron Bowl down because I thought it was a good football game.
Here's the underrated one that I pulled out. Florida State versus Virginia.
Great Friday night game.
That was a great Friday night.
Pull.
That was a great teaser for the weekend.
Had some chaos to end it.
Yeah.
We were in a truck, weren't we?
I
Were we
wasn't.
headed somewhere?
I was at home watching that one.
I was at home as well.
Huh.
Maybe that was when
I
you're
was
doing
in
Friday
fun.
Night Mike.
Maybe. Yeah.
That was early season.
Because I was giving Austin Mixon, known Thomas Castellanos fan, a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
faded
That was-
away, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Because that was the Friday
that
night.
guy ain't around here lipping up no more. I mean, good Lord, they were mouthy early about that stuff.
Yeah, because that was the Friday night before the Georgia-Alabama game.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. He was out there dealing. Psych! Tommy turnovers.
I think we left the game off. I put Indiana Penn State as my
Okay.
game of the year.
Okay.
Back and forth game really came down to the wire, came down to one of these defining drives. Lots of big plays in between, lots of big moments. It felt like it was one of the underrated games, in my opinion.
That was one of those games where it messed around and got good, and you like look up and you're like, uh-oh, they're in a sweater. Are they going to lose? And you go watch it.
Yeah.
You know? Instead, like, imagine how different that game would have felt if both those teams were what they were supposed to be.
Oh, man.
Yo, for sure.
I feel like Penn State fits that to a T over and over and over again this year. Like, the amount of – like, the Big Ten not having top 10 matchups this year, I think they only had one all year or something like that. Only had three. I don't know, whatever the number. And one of them was Texas, Ohio State. The reason being is because Penn State sucked this year.
Yeah, Penn State really did tank the upper
strength of
echelon of that
schedule
conference.
on that whole
yeah.
entire conference, really.
But Indiana lifted it up for that matter.
Because
so.
they were – I mean, Penn State had a relatively tough schedule this year if you really think about it, right? Because they played Ohio State, they played Indiana, they played Oregon, and they didn't play Michigan, right? So they got the three playoff teams in that conference.
Mm-hmm.
and they were poo.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if they were good.
Yeah.
You know, that conference would have been
They
a
still
lot
lost
more
to them
premier.
all.
They still lost.
They would
to
have still
them all.
been top 10 teams.
Probably still would have lost to them all, but you know, probably would have been.
Iowa,
more.
Oregon is also a great shout.
Yeah, I guess.
If
you're into that kind of thing,
it doesn't live up to what those other games were, though. In my opinion, it was just it was
If
good
you
because
like-
it was close.
I mean,
If you like that game between Oregon and Iowa, you really, really like that scene in Casino Royale 007, where they're just taking that rope and just smacking that guy over and over again. You just like punishment. That's what you like.
I mean, in fairness,
just like punishment. That's all.
I would argue the Iowa-Oregon game was more exciting than the Texas-Ohio State game.
Correct, but boy, did that thing have build up.
Yeah, but the product and like we got halfway through, like, this is Arch Manning. This is the number 1 and number 2 team in the country.
This is how y'all are using
there's-
Jeremiah Smith this year.
There's 14 points scored right now. What is this? That's how I felt watching that game. And by the way, it wasn't ever a close game either. Like Ohio State controlled that game; they were up 14, and then Texas scored late. Like that, I didn't think that was a great game. But
Chad said, "Don't judge me." That scene is diabolical, by the way.
tough scene.
Most entertaining. I'll let y'all go first because I've got a bunch of random off the wall things.
Most entertaining for me was Texas A&M. I said this at the beginning of the year, and you gave me some crap for it. I loved Marcel Reed was my favorite watch in the SEC for most of this year. And it partially had to do with the fact that they were always one of the late night games, so he was always available to watch for me after covering a game that day. That guy was so entertaining for me, and watching that offense and watching those wide receivers play this year,
Ooh, the yards after catches.
like they were such an explosive offense, and then you flip over to the defense and watching Torian York play. Like it was just a fun team to pay attention to as like a non-biased observer.
When I think about what makes a college football team exciting, that when you have no bias either way, you don't care what happens. Excitement is the unknown. Oh man, they might have an explosive play here, or it might just be a horrendous turnover. The epitome of that, in my opinion, was the Arkansas Razorbacks. They were going to score at least 30. They were going to score 30 points on you, and they were also going to have some,
Except for against non-playoff team Notre Dame, which they scored 13 points, lost 52-13.
Correct. And
Irish fans, I got you. Don't worry. I got him. I got his ass. Nobody beat Arkansas like Notre Dame did. Nobody. Go ahead.
This is correct. But, I mean, again, other than the Notre Dame game, it felt like all year Arkansas was like, oh, this is fun to watch. This is exciting. It's disgusting. It's horrible, and
They're
it's
out
not
here
good.
in the eye.
Yeah, it's
On a
not good at
downhill
all.
ISO.
I would be stressed out and annoyed as hell if I was an Arkansas fan, but as someone who's not, this is very entertaining. I love this. That's what I felt like was the most entertaining for me. It's the Arkansas Razorbacks.
Very special downfall to me for us to watch very publicly this year. Any guesses?
Very
Public
special
downfall.
Very public downfall this year. And, man, he was so dang close.
Oh,
Hugh
Hugh
Freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah, we thoroughly enjoyed that around here. At least I did, you know. He got the bus backed up on him. That's all right.
You enjoyed watching Auburn football this year?
Dude, I hate watching it. I made you
That's
watch
fair.
it.
Hate
I made
watching.
you watch it coming back from Jacksonville.
Hate watching is understandable.
Yeah. So we enjoyed that one. I enjoyed being right about that one. Though, you know, I did learn a lesson there that all those Auburn fans that hated me for letting them know that Hugh Freeze was a snake oil salesman, it's not like they've returned to the platform and was like, dang, that guy sure was right.
Oh, they never did.
Yeah, so maybe we should just love them all up and never say anything that we mean. Maybe we should do it that way. Nope. Never going to happen. That was entertaining. Venable's defense has been entertaining as hell all year long for me to study. The Pavia film has been really, really fun. Just the film. All the other stuff I could deal without, the TikToks, the nonsense with the distractions and all that good stuff. I'm good. But the guy that has been the most entertaining football player by far and absolutely clears, I don't think there's a more entertaining football player to watch in all of college football right now. We get 2 more years of him. It's Malachi Toney down there at Miami. I've got film study
good
coming
answer.
up for you guys tomorrow. That might be the best football player that we've studied all year. That guy is the definition of a football player. There's a clip I'm going to show y'all tomorrow of Malachi Toney being the RPO action off of the run. He realizes that the ball's been given off, and then he just starts hunting. and just starts running downfield getting blocks, okay? He makes acrobatic catches. He's tremendous after the catch. He's a tremendous downfield weapon. He can go get 50-50 balls at 5'8" somehow. He's 17 years old. He reclassed into this classification. He threw a damn fade ball in Wildcat against Pittsburgh that's better than John Mateer's fade ball. I kid you not. Like, the dude has touchdown passes. He's got rushing touchdowns. He's their best wide receiver. He's insane, and he's only going to get better. I hope they get him a quarterback next year. I think he's got a chance to win the Heisman. He is the most entertaining football player in all of college football.
Yeah, he's one of the good ones.
All right. That's another good point right there by the chat. Motor absolutely never ends. Seems like this show never ends either. We got a whole nother hour.
No, we got Super Chubbs.
Oh,
you got a
Super
specific
Chubbs.
Super Chub that you were paid to talk about.
Oh,
too.
that's right. I got to say that out loud. That's insane. Michigan Rico case coming soon. Never forget they were barely keeping up with Penn State in the East before they started cheating. Oh, man, I'm sure the big Michigan men are going to love that one. Y'all think they finally found Sherrone's parties, or was he the second sacrificial lamb for Connor Stallions? They expect one of us in the wreckage, brother. Steven Steen says, this was known in the summer. Damn. Bandit. Sark is about to poach these recruits in Orlando.
If they play.
That's a good point.
If the program decides to play.
Pull out. Hunter Moss.
Oh, there's so many joke opportunities.
Says can't watch for the live too long, but damn, Sherrone keeps spiraling. Life be lifing. Free Kirby, free comrade Kirby.
Thank you.
Got thrown into that.
Free my boy Kirby.
I think that was in reference to the SEC credentials.
By the way,
I hope.
if any professional outlet is listening right now, these are Rodney Carey's words. I'm being paid to say these. These are not Brooks Austin's words. I quote Rodney Carey. Quote, you heard it here first. Sherrone Moore to BYU as O-line coach to learn how to properly soak unless it doesn't happen. D_Raymond says, brother, college football is better at keeping secrets than any agency in the world. Dubious. This one's been leaking for a while. We just didn't believe it because it was the Burniverse. Rodney Carey circled back, said, Kirby, stop hating my man Matt Campbell. He'll do big things once he gets shipped off the cliff. I don't know what that means. But, yep.
I wasn't thinking I was hating on Matt Campbell.
I didn't think so either. I think we didn't talk much about the Penn State hire. I think it's a good hire.
Yeah, it's a
for
good
where
hire.
y'all were at in the situation.
Yeah.
All right, we got a whole nother hour coming up next. See you on the other side. Sneaky. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
Let's shut up and let's grind. My problem is everything from the waist down. Everything down here is chaotic. It is just flying all over the place. We're trying to get that man rub right now. Everybody puckered up. It's physical and it hurts. Now look, I know we got pressure on our face, big boy, but you just stood in and took one off the chin. I need you to stand in and take another one. The amount of guts it takes to go full extension, I mean, he's back there whipping that thing around. Oh, just snuck up right on him.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky diddy.
Are they sneaking up anymore? I feel like we've been hitting them with them basically.
You've been consistently diddying them?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we have.
You know, at least that one, that was sneaky but consensual, you know?
Right. It's always important to have that.
Very much so. Consensual diddying right there. That's good to know. Welcome into our local hour. We've got a loaded one for you. Home and Home versus Louisville has been canceled. We'll talk about that and why it was canceled. What If Wednesday tonight on a fine Wednesday evening. We got top 5 things that need to improve as this college football run approaches. Dream playoff scenarios will be talked about tonight as well. And we will talk a little bit more from a local hour standpoint about the Jim Knowles hire up there in Knoxville, Tennessee. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button. Make sure you're firing off in the chat. Make sure you're having a good old time tonight. Hey, boys, let's start with the news as we always do. Home and home with Louisville canceled. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news instead of just being a Big Ten biased person going, now they're getting easy cupcake schedules. Well, guys, they're moving to 9. A lot of these schedules were already set well in advance. And when you move to 9 conference games, you have 4 non-con games already scheduled. One of those needs to be canceled. It's the same thing that happened with NC State. In these exact years, I think, Jonathan, what were their options? It was either cancel Georgia Tech, cancel Tennessee Tech, cancel Western Kentucky, or cancel Louisville.
Yeah.
And I would imagine of the 3 schools, because Georgia Tech's not an option, of the 3 schools they called, Western Kentucky was probably like, hell no, we need that check.
Yep.
Eastern Illinois, whoever the hell, Tennessee Tech was probably like, no, we need to play that game. Louisville was probably like, okay.
Actually, I think
I'm
it might
good.
even be Tennessee State. Now that I think
Whatever
about
it was.
whatever
Even
it is.
worse.
Yeah.
Like those programs are not going to say no to the $1.4 million paycheck that they get when they show up and get their ass
They
beat.
are not.
And I'm sure it's going to be the same case because they still have a game scheduled against Florida State down the road. They still have a game scheduled for Ohio State down the road. They still have a Clemson game scheduled down the road. These things are going to be cut because per the SEC scheduling, you still have to have one Power 4 out-of-conference opponent, and Georgia has Georgia Tech every single year. So they already have their out-of-conference Power 4 opponents. Therefore, they don't need to add in anymore. But it is interesting that Ole Miss added Louisville to their schedule for next year. So those two now are going to play one another in 2026.
It makes sense because, Ole Miss is out of rivalry game, is not out of SEC. It's not even out of state.
And Wake Forest canceled.
And they did mention that Georgia and Louisville are still trying to find a later date to play a neutral site matchup against one another. It's just not going to be the home and home like they thought it would.
Huh.
Oh, good. Another neutral site game.
Apparently, Florida State already canceled a game with Notre Dame.
Checks out. I mean, I believe it.
We're going to look up, and Notre Dame's going to have
next year's schedule?
Yeah. But without, USC's going to stop scheduling them too, or trying to.
Oh, yeah, they talked about it. They teased it.
USC and Miami look like world beaters on that schedule next year for those guys.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine if you look up in 2 years and those 2 schools aren't playing Notre Dame anymore.
Notre Dame will have to join a conference within the next 3 seasons.
No, they're the biggest brand in college football, Kirby. They don't have to.
It's a true story.
And they have the thing written in.
I heard that there was reports today from a Notre Dame, non-biased reporter that their decision to pull out of the Pop-Tart Bowl cost ESPN $50 million.
Oh my God.
$50 million, despite the fact that those ad sales are already sold. I don't know if y'all know how this works, but the Pop-Tart Bowl has already sold all those ads. They're already gone. So, yeah, they might pull bad numbers in relative to what Notre Dame apparently does, which is 14th best on the year. Georgia Tech might pull a slight worse number, but the ad sales for this year are already sold. All right? It might impact the amount of money the Pop-Tart Bowl can get from ESPN next year, but this year it's bundled, it's packaged, it's done. It's so stupid.
I so hope that college football fans band together and everybody watches that game. It makes it like the most watched non-playoff bowl game.
Oh, dude, we're gonna break it down. We're gonna show it love.
Just
We
to
need to
stick it to them.
Jay, well, we need to start that campaign.
We start a movement.
We need to start a everybody watch the Pop-Tart Bowl movement.
Everybody watch the Pop-Tart Bowl movement.
We got to find a way to condense it, maybe, but we're going to get a mission statement out.
We'll figure it out. We'll brainstorm after the show.
Help us out, chat. We got to figure
Start
that
the
out.
movement with us.
Yep. No pull-out Pop-Tart.
Maybe.
Okay, keep workshopping it.
We'll keep working on that one.
Working on that later.
Way to get the ball rolling, baby.
Got to get it going downhill.
Yeah, that's
we'll
what
pick up
brings-
some
Oh, you
steam.
shoved it right downhill.
That's what
That's for
brainstorming's
sure.
for.
But it's moving now.
Maybe a little too fast.
So fast that it can only go up from there.
Pop up for Pop-Tart.
Don't hate it.
A little
Improvement.
better. Still kind of got an innuendo there, but
Top 5 things you want to clean up like this broadcast.
let's do it.
Let's do it. Who wants to go first?
Are we going just listing them all, or
I got 1 through 5. You want them?
let's hear them?
5 to 1, 1 to 5, Jonathan.
5 to 1.
I'll give you 1 to 5. Actually, let's go 5-1. Number 5, Malachi Tolliver played good in the SEC championship game. Can we play great? Can we play better? Can we get better? I would say we can. I would say we 100% can. I would also say it's going to be real nice to not be hovered over by one of the best nose tackles in SEC football the next time we play ball. That'll be really, really cool. Depending on what draw you get. Like, if you get the Ole Miss defense again, like, buddy, y'all ran through them like Swiss cheese up on the offensive line. So that would be a good matchup, you would imagine. Want to see him continue to get better and that offensive line continue to gel, build some rapport. You know what I mean? Build some rapport. What we got? Hashtag watch the tart.
I don't hate the Pop-Tart pop-up. Don't hate that one.
Number 4, continue to develop a downfield passing presence. To be honest with you, I think they've gotten to the point this year really without one. What was the last post route they've hit?
Noah Thomas,
Auburn?
No.
Or Noah Thomas.
That was a deep end.
That was a deep over against Mississippi State. He ran after the catch with. When's the last play action deep shot they hit, guys?
The last play action deep shot that they hit was
Bottom line,
been a minute.
This what we're talking about right here can't be it down the stretch. We got to get some explosive plays.
The London Humphreys touchdown against Texas was a play action shot, correct? Right?
No, against Texas. Hold on. Maybe I can't remember that play. My brain's not bringing that to me right now.
I'll pull it up.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, we got to be better at it.
Agreed.
And now I think a lot of this has to do with the fact that Colby's banged up.
Right.
Noah had back spasms. Like,
Right.
a lot of this could be explained away, but we got to get better at it nonetheless.
Yeah, for sure.
I would
Definitely.
say, okay, Elias Williams' vertical shot against Mississippi State.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
The
say.
back shoulder fade on 3rd and 12.
Yeah.
Like, that's a big play. We need more of those. Oh, my bad. Number 3, stay hot. How do you avoid the lull? Big major key right here. How do we go, what is it, 25 days? How long is it? So it's quite a bit layoff. From December 8th until
The first.
the 1st.
23 days.
That's a lot. That's a lot of time. It's basically a month of how do we make sure we're peaking again? How do we lick our wounds, get healthy, and then get back to peaking? Like, do you think this is a football team that might have like a week where they like get after it? Like, they get back to like off-season grind? Like,
Could
how would
be.
you do? Because this is a football program built off physicality. So you can't just kick your feet up over the next 23
Now,
days.
this takes me back to when Georgia had a similar timeline when they lost to Alabama in the SEC championship game ahead of the 2021 Natty, and them boys got after it.
Yeah.
Jordan Davis and those guys,
Stadium
those leaders,
steps.
made those boys get after
They
it.
got after it from a conditioning standpoint.
Right.
And I think that's very, very vital, obviously, over the next 23 days because it's that first adrenaline dump that you're not prepared for
Right.
when you get back into a football game because you haven't played one in a while.
So I'd imagine it would be things like that.
And, I mean, when I went through extensive layoffs as a football player, and you can attest to this, all you're ever really anxious about is that first contact. These boys get contact so often, they ain't worried about it.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? They don't feel this way.
And I think the other benefit is that everyone in college football, everyone in the playoff at least, is dealing with this layoff. Even if you didn't play in the SEC championship, or if you don't have a first-round bye, like there is a 20-something gap window where you are not playing football. So everyone's going to have to kind of get their feet under them. Now, it doesn't help that the team you'll be playing will have just played a football game, but it's not like everyone's just going to be full stride when they come into this thing.
Number 2. And you can ask Texas this. You can go back and watch that Ohio State football game. You have one bad tackling rep, it can cost you a playoff game. That's it. I mean, honest to God, one of those plays like Jeremy Bernard happens against the wrong team in the wrong day where your offense isn't good.
Oh, boy.
You're in trouble. Go back and watch that Texas-Ohio State game. That Travion Henderson play before the half gutted them. That was it. And it was one play of a bad angle from Makuba and a bad pursuit angle and a bad tackling effort, and then bang, headshot. Like, that stuff, that's the only, like, we talked about it watching the defensive film. There's very little to sit there and go, guys, we got to get better. Guys, we got to do this. Guys, we got to do, apart from DPI, a personal foul, talking some shit and doing something you shouldn't, and bad tackling on Ryan Williams and that screen pass. Can't have that. All right, because, again, in these tight football games, one bad tackling rep, one massive explosive, you can lose the football game. And number 1, I think this is most important for this football team and everybody else, really, but really Georgia, because they're so young. You can't have any more young guy blunders. Like, I'm not picking on him, but it's the only one that I can really pick on because he's the only one that had him last game, and it might be another young guy in the next game. But Juan Gaston didn't play all that well Saturday, and it was a lot of my eyes are in the wrong spot. I'm playing slow mentally, not physically. I'm playing slow mentally, and it's costing me reps. It's costing my offensive line. It's costing our offense, and that type of stuff. It happened with one guy. God forbid it happens with 3 or 4 young football players in one of these pivotal football games. That can't happen. Young blunders cannot happen.
Absolutely. Now, my list of top 5 things that Georgia needs to improve upon is really going to sound like I'm nitpicking and complaining maybe. And that's how small of areas I had to dwindle this down to make a top 5. Like, for example, number 5, KJ Bolden to catch interceptions. He's had multiple opportunities over the past few weeks to make some big plays. Heck, he had one in the first time Georgia played Alabama to make a game-changing interception, and they just haven't been caught. But he's had the opportunities. He's been in the right spot. So he's doing everything right other than catching the ball. This is nitpicking, KJ, if you're listening, so this isn't me complaining about you by any means. But hey, if you make those plays, that'd be game-changing in these playoff moments.
Do you know how many – do you know how many Army-Navy games Gary Danielson's called?
Let me do
40.
some quick math real quick.
Jonathan.
The SEC on CBS has been in contract since 2002, probably. I'm going to say he's done 26 Army-Navy games.
He's done 17.
Okay.
Let's see here. It really is he sent me the list of guys who have called this game. I mean, it is dudes.
Prestigious honor.
I mean, Gary, Vern, Keith Jackson, Lindsey Nelson, Brad Nessler, Ian Eagle, Brent Musburger, Boomer Asai. I mean, there's just dudes that have called this football game. And the guy who holds the record, Gary D. Hey, that boy Gary Danielson, give him 3. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Number 4, Justin Williams to start flashing more. Not that Justin Williams hasn't been playing good football for Georgia, but that whole linebacker room, it seems like they've been having some big moments, been playing really good football. I feel like Justin Williams might be getting to that point in his career where he starts taking that next step, and that very well could happen in the playoffs because now we've gone 2 seasons now where 19 has been involved, and now we're getting to a point where he's entering that next stage of his career. I think you might be seeing Justin Williams take that leap in the playoffs. Number 3, I want the tight. This is me being selfish. I want the tight ends more involved somehow, some way. Just get them the ball any way that you possibly can because good things happen when they get touches. So any way that it can happen. And they've been great this year, and they've been using them. But if there's any possible way for them to get involved more in Lawson Lucky and Oscar Delp, Elias Williams, Jane Riddell, that'd be fantastic. Really nitpicking here. More consistent punting. We've had just a couple of them, Brett Thorson. That's okay. Just hasn't been your typical year that you've had in previous years at the University of Georgia, but really got to have that dialed in because if you can flip the field consistently, pin those offenses back over the next 3 games.
To be fair to Brett, I mean, I wouldn't be punting to that Niblett kid neither. And I think the Texas game was the only game where he really had shaky punts, didn't he?
He's had a couple of others that I can think of.
He's also, let's remember, guys, this guy destroyed his knee 365
and that's
days
why I
ago.
said I'm nitpicking, really nitpicking.
No, yeah,
also,
look,
this is what the list has come to for me, all right?
Also, let's
mad.
remember, guys, that this is not Gary's swan song this weekend. He's got the Sun Bowl as well, unless too many players opt out. And I think CBS has got the Natty this year.
No. Gary's calling the Natty?
Yeah, I think so.
How?
Look it up. I don't know.
ESPN Butler.
They have the playoff, not the national title game. Look it up. I don't know. Maybe I'm misreading a text message. I think he's thinking that
Well, it'll be our last Army-Navy game with Gary.
yes.
So, either way, it's a
Who's
final.
got the Natty?
broadcast on ESPN.
Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
it's not CBS.
You're right.
Yeah, would have been crazy if they pulled that one off.
Yeah.
Would have been pretty wild.
My bad. Misread a text.
All right, number 1,
Number 1.
injury report. Get guys healthy. Get Ethan Barbour back.
That's fair.
Get Colby Young back.
Ooh.
I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I couldn't really think of another one.
It's all good, brother.
Me and Brooks had the same note with better explosivity on deep shots. I feel like they have the ability to do it. I feel like they've been capable of doing it. They have not necessarily done it over the past few weeks. Not a concern, not anything where it's like, oh, this is a problem heading into the college football playoff. Just something where it's like, hey, let's get some more of these going. Number 4, more consistency in the punt return game. I think that this past weekend with Zachariah Branch against Alabama was one of the first times in a while where it's been like, oh, that's the capability of what Zachariah Branch can do as a punt returner. Now, to his credit, they haven't been punting him the ball much and giving him opportunities to do so. But when you do get those opportunities, make the most of them. Again, like Jay Will said, this is a kind of a nitpicky list. These next two, however, are not. Number 2 for me, disciplined penalties.
Penalties?
Penalties?
Yeah, I said that wrong. Undisciplined penalties. And I think that this past weekend was the perfect epitome of this, of Gabe Harris could have very easily gotten a penalty for what he did to Ty Simpson. Now, he didn't. It ended up being a really solid moment, and it's one that's probably going to live on in that rivalry's history, but he definitely had some whistles and a shoulder check afterwards.
I think something that played into that not being flagged is Alabama players did not sell it at all.
No.
Now, Ty Simpson did. He flung himself on the ground, and he got pushed. I mean, he didn't just flop or anything.
He got hit.
All those players were like, oh, yeah, sure. Come on, Gabe Harris. Whack our quarterback one more time. Like, we don't care. If they had gotten around him and, like, say, like, bro, we can't be doing that. Like, this is blown dead. You maybe get a penalty right there.
At least go work yourself into some offsetting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if
something.
an Alabama offensive lineman walks over there and gets in Gabe Harris's face, there would be 2 penalties on that play, offsetting, 1 personal foul, late hit on the quarterback, the other one on Caden Proctor for hitting Gabe Harris in the chest.
Right.
That's what it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing.
There's a lot wrong with that offensive line.
Yeah.
A lot.
And then obviously the DeMello Jones penalty practically gave them 7 points. Like, we all know what that one is. Limit those. And that hasn't been a huge issue up until now, and maybe it's because you made that Alabama game so personal and there were so much emotions going that stuff like that happened, but that can't take place in the playoff. You can't basically keep a possession alive on a sack that would have put them in 3rd and long. And the number one thing for me, and I feel like this is absolutely the most crucial and something we've seen over the past few weeks, the offensive sputtering we've seen in the middle of games. Gone are the days where Georgia comes out and says, oh, another slow start, or man, they just it took them a half to get going. That's not the issue now. Georgia usually starts out very strong and finishes strong. It's the middle game part where it's kind of like, all right, come on, we need some offense here. We saw it against Texas where they had a really strong 14-0 start, and then kind of Texas crept back in. Then obviously the 4th quarter explosion. We saw it last week against Alabama. You go up 14-0, get a touchdown on your first drive, and then you're kind of sleepwalking until you finally get that turnover on downs late in the 4th quarter. Stuff like that where I want the start of the offensive output and the end of the offensive output to look like what do you get in the middle. And I think that's something that if you can do that, this Georgia offense is going to be unstoppable.
Middle 8 got them beat against Notre Dame. It's a great point.
Oh, yeah.
Good God, did it ever.
Based off the title of tonight's stream, I'm sure there's a lot of people hopping in, like one of the most recent chats asking about the Sherrone Moore situation. He was recently detained is the terminology there. I don't believe the verbiage is arrested. He was detained by Saline police up there in Michigan. Reports are that he might have been at the assistant's house, and police were called. They found him and detained him. We have already kind of addressed the situation and what's going on up there. We've already talked about it. You can probably go back and watch the beginning of the show.
Gave it almost 30 minutes.
Yeah, we gave it a good 25, 26 minutes on that situation. Hope everybody, like we said to start a situation, hope everybody involved is in a solid mental state right about now, because that guy has gone from at the top of the world as the Michigan head football coach, and over the last 7 weeks has watched that entire thing crumble, not to mention his personal life. Now, you could say that it was all self-inflicted, and I'm with you right there, because, you know, it is, to the better part of it, what it sounds like self-inflicted, but still got to have some type of sympathy. Let's move on to dream scenario for the University of Georgia. And, boys, I got this sucker laid out. You ready?
Let's hear it.
Here we go. Tulane beats Ole Miss. Because if you got a choice, G5 or P5, you're going to take the G5. All right, so Tulane beats Ole Miss. You beat Tulane. That's done. Let's talk about the other side of the bracket. Miami beats A&M and Ohio State. Then you sack Carson Beck 5 times in the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Arizona.
Peach Bowl's in it. Huh?
No,
This game was
Georgia's
not-
side of
they're
the
not playing
bracket.
in
Okay,
Peach
Arizona. You do that. You sack Carson Beck and beat Miami. You just drum them. And then somehow, some way, mythically, Alabama gets through the other side of the bracket. It just limps all the way through, and you biblically beat their ass again in the national title game.
Now
That would be if I were just cockamamie, here is the best scenario for a Georgia fan, that's it right there.
Most
you can't
satisfying.
get no better. You will not get any better than that right there.
Most satisfying, absolutely. That would be like every Georgia fan of like, if I could decide how everything played out and I knew for a fact it would work out in my favor, that would be the path that Georgia fans would likely take. I certainly agree with that. I kind of went in the same direction that you did, but I also took it a different path of obviously Georgia versus Tulane in the quarterfinal round in the Sugar Bowl. Ryan Puglisi, you get some snaps in the second half.
Ooh.
You get some twos action, all that good stuff.
Twos in a quarterfinal.
Talk to him, baby. Hey,
Hell,
we wanted
had-
the G5 here. Rule stipulates have to be here.
Hey,
so
man, they had threes in the natty.
How's the audio tonight?
yeah, that's very true. I mean, against a Big 12 team.
They did. Right. Yep. Branson Robinson did get a carry against TCU.
Princeton
did.
Robinson had
Carries,
2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Princeton Robinson had 14 points against TCU.
Then you go play Miami in the next round, and you get to dismantle the Miami Hurricanes. Georgia fans get to celebrate that they beat Carson Beck, that they won the quarterback battle, all that good stuff. And then in the final round for a national title, you get to beat up on Texas Tech. That's ideal. You get to go into a college football playoff national title game where you probably feel pretty confident going into that one of, man, we're about to win our 3rd national title under Kirby Smart. That would be the ideal scenario in my opinion.
Little LaDainian Guyton shout.
Perhaps.
So here's
Perhaps.
I agree with you guys.
Rock.
I agree with you guys all the way up until the Natty. I think that having a Tulane just scrap and find a way to beat Ole Miss and then come in tired and beat up against Georgia is the perfect opportunity for a tune-up game. It's a perfect opportunity for you to build momentum. Then obviously going and beating Carson Beck. But if you go from Tulane to Miami to Texas Tech, there are going to be people out there saying that this isn't really that great of a natty run. You had all the easy pass and all this. So give me an undefeated just rolling Indiana into this where it's, Indiana's on top. Indiana's number 1, top odds to win the whole thing, and you just beat the hell out of them. That would be the perfect scenario for me to where you leave no doubt, you leave no opportunity for anyone to say, yeah, you guys got lucky because of the season.
Screw that. I don't care what anybody says. If you win a natty, you win a natty.
Very true.
I don't care if you say, oh, looky here, Georgia. They did it when they played TCU.
I'm going to tell you what. I've seen some very historic characters have some very historic ops in their day. I mean, Superman's got kryptonite. Batman's got all kind of crazy folks, Joker and whatnot.
Right.
The amount of oppage that Hunter Lacey has for you
Oh, dude, he's number 1 op.
is crazy. He nailed you to a T. Right before you went off, he said, guaranteed Kirby goes anti-spin here. Goes contrarian.
I agree with you guys all the way up until the natty. That's not contrarian. Contrarian is
look-
being like, you guys are completely wrong here. Let me
Hey,
tell
I'm
you
just
what's
saying.
right.
I'm just saying. Hunter Lacey pinned you.
My whole thing is,
Hunter Lacey did not.
I don't give two
I
craps
resent that statement.
about what anybody says
Pepsi
about
bottle?
how you win a Pepsi bottle, Coca-Cola glass. Don't give a damn. I don't care. You could line up Tulane, and then you could give me Ohio State in the second round, and then you could give me freaking JMU in the national title game against Georgia, and they could win 100-0. I wouldn't care one bit what people say. That's a national title hanging in the rafters right there.
I would say
Big dubs.
Bottom line.
I will say this: it would give me more satisfaction to beat the hell out of an undefeated Indiana team that's riding so high than it would to beat Texas Tech. That's just personal. But I'm not gonna. Oh man, we beat Texas Tech in the Natty instead of Indiana. Darn, this season doesn't mean as much to me. That's not gonna happen.
Hell yeah.
Hey, you know what day it is?
What day is it? It's Wednesday.
It is Wednesday.
What do we do on Wednesdays?
We have What If Wednesday. We
We
didn't
have
do it
What
in the
If
National
Wednesday?
Hour because we had so much to
I
talk
got some
about.
good ones. I want to start with this one. I didn't prep y'all for this. I probably should have. What if you sustained an injury, okay, to
like
a starter?
this.
Apart from quarterback, how would you rank them in terms of depth, being the position groups? And I'll go first. I think if you sustained an injury at tight end, you'd be most okay with it. You'd be all right. You'd be all, well, okay. Ethan Barbour might be coming back. We're all right.
Yeah.
After that, linebacker. I think you go 5 deep in the linebacker room right now. I think Terrell Foster is borderline winnable. Everything under him scares me. And Zayden Walker is getting up into that area where we're okay if we lose one. Now, CJ's played great ball. It can't be him, but we're okay. We're deeper there than most teams are.
Okay.
Next, corner. Now, maybe flip-flop these, corner and linebacker. Maybe put linebacker
maybe
2.
flip-flop them.
Okay, let's put corner
Yeah,
2,
that
linebacker 3.
I think that corner room got pretty thin quick with. And I don't know what Daniel Harris like. He's obviously planning on entering the portal. I don't know if they basically said, "All right, buddy, you're out of here," or if he's still playing around.
I don't know if I saw him, but at the
Saw
game,
him where?
At the game this past weekend.
He hit the portal after, right?
No, he
hit the portal beforehand.
I thought I saw him walk by me.
Okay.
Maybe, and that's what I don't know.
Either way, I got running back number 4.
Okay.
I think you're suddenly deep at running back.
Yeah.
As long as Chauncey's healthy, yeah.
Yeah, as long as Chauncey's healthy. I mean, Rod's getting back playing some ball. Like, you're a little bit deeper. Like, even if McCray gets hurt, Rod can maybe get some of those short yardage carries. Like, there are ways that we can go.
The Bo Walker injury does stink at this point, though.
It does. He was playing good ball. Number 5, I've got defensive line. I didn't put edge in this discussion. I don't think you can sustain an injury at edge.
No, you cannot.
They're number 8 on this list. I didn't even mention them. It's a don't even talk about it. We can't have it happen. But interior defensive line, I think you're okay. Like, guys, Nnamdi Agboko is playing like 12 snaps a game right now. Mm-hmm. For any other football program, he's probably playing 40 snaps a game right now.
It feels like more so than ever this season, Georgia just has basically anyone they put on the field is a winner. Is a player where it's like, oh, so-and-so's in, that's a liability. Now, obviously, there's others where it's like, oh, so-and-so's in, they're an advanced player.
We have very, very unique information on this. That's how they recruit and stack their roster.
Yeah.
Their line of take is, can we throw him into the fire right now? Will he play winnable football?
Yeah.
Anything below that is not allowed to play it or be taken at Georgia, essentially.
Unless
there are no –
Unless there's a ceiling otherworldly.
That's where I was going next. Unless you are, for a lack of a better euphemism here, unless you are a Jaw Jackson type. Yeah. You know what I mean? Number 6, offensive line. I think we've built such a rapport with the keynote starters here that if you lose one of them, it would hurt.
Yeah.
And number 7, wide receiver. It's already thin as shit. Can't lose any more playmakers. All the guys that are starting right now, wide receiver, are pivotal role players, and Zachariah Branch.
Yeah,
dude, your running game would take a massive hit if London Humphreys got hurt.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Definitely.
Your screen game would take a hit.
I mean, heck, even your run game would take a hit if Dylan Bell wasn't, because that guy's added in sometimes to create explosive runs for this offense.
For sure. So y'all don't have to rank them. I just thought that was an interesting what if. Like, what if somebody gets hurt? Where are we okay with it happening?
Well, it's also weird, too, because the wide receiver room feels deeper than it's ever been, but it also feels like more so than ever you can't afford to lose anyone.
I mean, you don't have an X right now.
No.
You're playing without one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's okay because you got a dominant slot receiver in Zachariah Branch that scares shit out of everybody.
And you have a pseudo X in Elias Williams where it's like, hey, we need a 50-50 shot.
It's 3rd and 12. Yeah. We got to throw one up into a one-on-one. We can go get one. But that's what I have right there. I got several other ones.
Well, kind of playing into that one, I'll throw this what if out there. What if the better conversation about Georgia is that they are getting depth back at the perfect time?
Ooh.
Oh.
Everybody's talking about Georgia's getting hot at the perfect time. It also might be Georgia's getting depth back perhaps at the perfect time. Like, I mean, you've had it like Chiron Jones maybe is able to return to the lineup after a few more weeks off. Ethan Barbour, we know the deal there. Colby Young potentially, like, does he get a late playoff run? Do you get to add him back into the mix? Chauncey Bowens looks like he's going to be back fully healthy by the time this one rolls around. Like, maybe Georgia is just getting their depth back at the perfect time, in my opinion, that really emphasizes, like, even Jonel Aguero, like, he's got a cast on his hand. Maybe that's off by the time this playoff game rolls around. Like, all of a sudden you look at some of the young stars that have emerged. That plays into this too. It's not just about the guys that are on the injury report that are coming back. It's also the fact that you've had young players now that we got to make sure we get these guys playing time. Like, we got to make sure that Zayden Walker gets at least 8 or 9 snaps this Saturday. We got to make sure that Rayshawn Dinkins probably gets some snaps now. Like, all of these things add up to where Georgia's building up some depth while at this time of the year, other teams are starting to take hits at certain positions.
Yeah, it feels like more so than ever Georgia feels it's not like, oh, they're going to be really, really good when they get this star back, when they get this playmaker back. It does feel more just like they're slowly and very quietly adding depth pieces to where they can rely on certain – they don't have to give as many guys, as many snaps or reps. They can also say, oh, this player can't go in all of these moments. We have this option as well. So you're absolutely right. Like, the depth is an underrated part of what's being talked about here.
Mm-hmm.
I've got one, and this kind of pertains to injury. What if Colby Young can come back before the end of the season? Like, what does that do for your
realistic.
offense?
First off,
He will be playing in that second playoff game, in my opinion. I'm
If
not
there is
officially reporting that. I think there's an opportunity that Colby dresses versus Tulane or Ole Miss, and he plays if you win that football game.
First off, if that happens,
You
what a
spelled
dog.
ballot wrong, by the way, on your tweet.
Football brain.
First off, what a dog for him to want
Is
to
it
come back.
Ballad, Ballad?
No, it's ballot, Ballot.
What is a ballad? A song?
Yeah, a ballot is like a type of song. A ballot is something that you vote for.
How'd you get started in this business?
As a writer and a managing editor of 3 premier websites.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
It's not about where you start, Jonathan. It's about where you finish.
Amen.
Okay? And we might have started with that Benjamin, but we got this here microphone paying bills nowadays. Whoop-ah! Strap up. Let's go to work. Hey, question. What if 2-man on third downs the rest of the way? Like, that's what you got going on. What if the rest of the way you are a 2-man football team that just says, you know what? I'm covering your ass for 4 quarters. How you like me?
I think that's exactly what Kirby Smart would want to say about his defense going third
Ellis
down
Robinson,
situations.
Dalen Everett at the corners, DeMello Jones at the nickel, Jonel Aguero back at safety, KJ Bolden on whoever else he wants to guard. Good luck getting open today. By the way, send it 5. If we feeling frisky, getting after you with 6. Talk
Got
to
the rabbit
me.
package out there.
That one hurt?
It didn't tickle.
I mean, that's certainly a possibility. And
Yeah.
the way that these cornerbacks have played throughout the year, you feel much more confident about just saying, all right, you guys are on an island today. We're going too high basically the entire evening. Stop everything in front of you. So that is certainly an opportunity. And if there's a defense in this playoff that is catered to do that, I would say it's either Georgia's or Ohio State's. So you feel great about that if that's the case. If what is going on right now, if the player output has been sustained, you absolutely feel great about that.
Yeah, I mean, if your defensive backroom is playing with that much confidence and belief in themselves in this playoff run, you got to feel pretty good about where you're at. It seems like that's the kind of confidence they're walking around with at the moment.
You know I was a ball player, Jonathan? This bar right here, you see I just chewed up? It's because I was hit with my damn eyebrows, son. That's why. I was hit with my screws.
Hit with your screws.
I was hit with my screws, baby. You already know. You're a ball coach nowadays. I might let you coach on the Pop Warner team, bud.
Ooh.
I might let you.
What if Malachi Tolliver is Drew Bobo 2.0?
Cuidado, Poppy. Cuidado, Poppy.
What if?
Cuidado.
What if where it's this gritty where it's you look at it, it's like that's not an elite center, but you watch the tape and it's someone who just starts out, just buries their face, just plays hard-nosed football and is correct. Like the Drew Bobo we see in 2025 was not the Drew Bobo we saw in 2024. We thought last year, hey, Drew Bobo, serviceable center, not as talented as Jared Wilson, will eventually get there. He has gotten there. Like Malachi Tolliver could absolutely become this.
Huh. It's a good take. He checks the mouth breather box.
Damn.
You know?
I'm sorry if you're listening to this, Malachi.
I'm not. It's a compliment. It's a compliment. I do not want pretty-looking offensive linemen. I'm good. Miss me. Especially if you're an interior offensive lineman. You could be pretty playing tackle. I'm cool with that. You got to be a good athlete. Hell, you might be able to, like, moonlight as a power forward in NBA. Like, that's how good of an athlete you got to be playing tackle. But if you're a center, if you're a guard, if your job is to run your face through other men, I'm cool with you not looking pretty. You know? Mm-hmm. Name me an interior offensive lineman that's got drip in the league. There you go. I mean, Quentin Nelson ain't got no drip. Zach Martin never had a drip one. Not one.
No, but is drip pretty? Is drip being attractive?
I mean, most of them I ain't really scouting with the helmet off. You know?
So I think accessories are accessories. That's irrelevant.
What if Gunnar Stockton goes on another run of playing great football?
Huh.
And we talked about this with him of this guy might just need the lights to be the brightest. Like he might just need the pressure. There's no
He might
bigger
be a lunatic, Jonathan.
there is no bigger stage than the college football playoffs. And if you remember correctly, this guy's first start was against Notre Dame, and he proceeded to throw for more yards against that secondary than any other quarterback that season. Maybe he does this again in this playoff run. Like, maybe we get some of that action.
So, can I answer your what if with another what if?
Sure.
What if the entire purpose of this team was so that Gunnar Stockton doesn't have to play like that? What if coming into the year was, hey, the defense isn't quite getting the stops we need him to. Offensive running game hasn't quite been there. It's efficient, but it's not explosive to carry us through. We really need 14 to play like a madman today. And thank God he did against Tennessee. Thank God he did against Ole Miss. Now you're at the point where that defense, they're not going to give up more than 30 points usually. So what if Gunnar Stockton doesn't need to?
Let me put it this way. What if you get Gunnar Stockton, Mississippi State performance every playoff game?
Oh, you're probably going
I would take the Ole Miss performance personally.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but the Ole Miss performance.
Obviously.
Ole
But
Miss,
like going into his point of like where Gunnar Stockton doesn't have to go for 12 for 12 in the second half.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have to do that. But you get Mississippi State performance, Gunnar Stockton, where he's hitting a deep ball to Elias Williams. They're getting explosive in the passing game from him. He's still running really well. Like all those things, not turning the ball over. Like has a really efficient day. But you didn't have to have it from him.
that would be the ideal situation for you, and I think if that goes on and this defense plays the way we've seen, Georgia will probably win a national championship. Those are all big ifs. We're all having what ifs here, but if Gunnar Stockton plays like that and that defense has played the way it has, Georgia will win the national championship.
You ever seen a Rottweiler sprint full speed?
Yeah, it's terrifying, dude.
What if Nate Frazier's got another level? I know we talked about this with Chauncey a couple weeks ago, but Nate's running the ball really, really physically right now. But I think a lot of people forget this is a dude that could get loose, like as a prospect coming out. I mean, we saw it first touch. It felt like against Clemson in the open field. Is that still the longest? No, the longest rush of his career is the touchdown against Mississippi State.
Yes.
Now,
Correct.
what if we've got like a game like that down the stretch in him?
I will say this. Now that he's added some
He's only improved.
He's only improved. Like, he's gotten a lot more physical, I feel like, as a runner. Now that he's added that to his game, there's been so many times where he gets to the secondary and he is inches away from breaking a tackle from a safety and is about to house that sucker. So it's very easy to believe that this guy puts it all together and he enters into another level where he's got the shiftiness and the explosiveness, and then he's breaking off 60-yarders. Like, there's certainly a world where that exists.
Yeah, it does feel like you are just like, not that he's not living up to his potential at all, but it does feel like there is one more level where you can go to where it's like, oh, this guy's the best running back in college football right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he absolutely has all the tools to be that. And I think if you, like you said, there have been a handful of runs this year where it's like, oh, my God, that ankle tackle stopped turned a 20-yard run, what could have been a 65-yard touchdown run. Like, there's been 4 or 5 of those where it's just like, oh, this close. So, you're absolutely right. What if Jacoby White begins to get more burn?
Without Zachariah being hurt?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it like
Where?
at the slot. We had design
They
screens.
got him an early touch against Alabama.
We had design
Dude, he
screens.
broke 3 tackles
Yeah, he
doing
did.
so. That
I
should've
thought
been
it was
TFL.
Zachariah.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was
there's-
Jacoby.
There's going to be plays next year when he is the guy that you're like, did we lose anything?
They had 2 of them?
They had 2 of these guys? Why didn't this guy play last
Why
year?
didn't he get more touches last year?
Now, I don't think he's got the top end, but I think he's more physical with the ball than Zachariah.
I remember when
Zachariah makes a ton of people miss, and he's got great contact balance, and he's hard to knock off his feet. But this kid like runs through arm tackles. He runs over people. Like he's tough.
I can remember back to when he first committed to Georgia and was set to enroll in the class, and for some reason it's always stuck in my mind. I think it's because when we went and watched his tape, it was like, oh yeah, there's a whole lot of truth to that. Of this isn't just like one of these shifty playmaker guys. This is a football player that has those abilities, and you see it every time that he gets the ball. I mean, he just makes plays.
It's just a thought because I also think that while they are extremely similar skill sets, shifty slot receiver guys, I do think Sokovia has a little bit different type of game that allows for you could maybe offer some different type of looks where it's, okay, 18's in, so it's basically treat him like one. Next thing you know, he's running deep slot fades. Stuff like that.
I've got one more, and I want to go last.
Okay.
Okay.
What if Georgia built this offense knowing this is what the defense was going to be like by the end of the season? Kirby kind of answered this question after the SEC championship game because he was asked something along the lines of, is this defense and these young players at the level that you expected them to be at by this time of the year? And he basically said yes. Like, for what I expected them to be, this is where I thought they would be. But knowing that, like, look, listen to this. Georgia is third in the country right now for time of possession. In the entire country, they are ranked third amongst all teams. So you add into the level that Georgia's defense is playing right now where they're getting you off the field quick. I mean, it was 8 of 11 possessions that were 4 plays or less for Alabama this past weekend. And then you add in the fact that this team chews clock better than almost anybody in the entire country, the best of anybody in the playoff field. It's an offense that takes care of the football, that can run the football. The quarterback makes good decisions. And now they're starting to capitalize on opportunities. When they get a short field, Georgia's capitalizing on those chances. That's a dangerous team that you don't feel so comfortable playing against.
Yeah,
I would argue, guys, I think this is what they're going to be moving forward. I think it's just I don't know if they're ever going to go back to a day, even if they have a quarterback that's as good from within the pocket as Carson. I don't know if Kirby Smart's ever going to go back to a style of offense that requires us to throw the ball 35 times today to win. I think this run the ball and stop the run thing, I think that's for good. I think this is he's just going to make this his reality.
Well, I think there's also
if he had a preference of winning, this is the way he's going to do
absolutely, but I think
that's what I'm trying to say.
I think, but to kind of push back on that a little bit, this was also the mentality from 2016 to 2019, where we've got a great defense, we're going to stop the run, and we're going to run the ball. The problem is that great defense also ran into a lot of great offenses when you were put in situations where it's like, oh, we have to throw the ball now. We've got nothing. Sorry. Like, hopefully we can Sody Michelle and Nick Chubb our way to 48 points in a Rose Bowl game. I think that it's stop the run, yes, it's run the football, but there's also been a much larger emphasis on insurance of we can still throw the ball if it absolutely comes down. If we've got to throw for 41 points against Tennessee, we can do that. If we have to go perfect, essentially, against Ole Miss, we can do that. So there's an added wrinkle to the mentality here. I don't think it's basically just like, passing is passing, we're going to run the football.
But I don't think their passing game works this year without being able to run the football the way that
Absolutely
they are.
not, yeah.
And this was something we knew about them all off. The reason it's part of the quarterback, but the reason that they had such a run the ball, stop the run off season was because they knew this offense would go as far as the running game went. Mm-hmm. Because all of it works off of 14's ability to stress the defense and be able to run the ball, but throw over the top of you when you worry about that and spit it out to the flats with the wrinkles there.
And correct me if I'm wrong. Complementary football is much easier to play on offense when you can run.
Well, yeah, that's what complementary football to me is.
Right, but like there's no really world where it's like, oh, we pass so that we can open up the run.
No.
Like we run because we can run, and then when that opportunity comes, we have ability to pass now.
Yeah, very rarely do I find football teams successfully throwing to set up the run. It don't work like that. Mm-hmm. We're not shooting threes to get layups. That's not the way this happens, man. Like it happens 100% in the inverse, like you're saying.
And to the credit, like you said, last year Georgia could not run the football. It could pass the football.
I don't know if we'll see another national title winner that can't run the football. I think that's the type of games we got to play now.
Right.
I think the playoff games nowadays are won like NFL games are won. I think this conference is one like NFL games are won. Mm-hmm. I think the fact that you can run the football every single week gives you an opportunity to survive this 11-1, to get out of this thing 10-2. Because even if your quarterback's got a bad day, we're okay. We can still hold the football and lean on a defense and protect our defense because we can run the ball.
And that makes sense when you get into the fact of, like, the playing field has been leveled. Especially in this conference, like the playing field has been leveled, and that's what the NFL is. It's a level playing field in some sense. So like it makes sense why games feel like that aren't won that way.
Has there been an NFL team to be anemic and like bottom 5 in the league and running the football and won a Super Bowl?
If I remember correctly, the Chiefs weren't very good at running the football in 2023. Isaiah Pacheco was shoddy, but I could be.
So you just got to have Mahomes.
I could be completely misremembering that, but I don't remember them being. I don't remember them being a very good running team.
Just have Mahomes and Andy Reid?
Yeah.
Okay. I got one more. Y'all want it?
Let's hear it.
Ooh, grabbing the mic for this.
What if Kalen DeBoer leaves Alabama?
It's a possibility.
So we can take this 2 routes. Local hour, what if he leaves and they hire Glenn Schuman?
Mm-hmm.
National hour, full chaos. What if he leaves, goes to Penn State, Jimmy Sexton slides Lane Kiffin right over into Alabama, and then slides Eli Drinkwitz down to LSU. And then Schuman goes up to Mizzou. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
you
this
lose-
thing could get real weird really quickly.
So you're losing Glenn Schuman in both scenarios here.
Yeah, I'm just like, I find it hard to believe that all this late chaos continues to happen and Schuman's name doesn't start coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where like when we saw the Michigan
Like, guys,
news,
Buster Faulkner might be taking the Southern Miss job.
Mm-hmm.
it's possible.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these things are still moving.
Yeah.
Still moving.
First off, if Kalen DeBoer were to go to Michigan, there would be a celebration of Georgia fans. Not because, man, we couldn't figure out how to beat that guy, because it would be a sudden loss for Alabama fans, and it would be a shock to that program for the Alabama football head coach, what they believe is the best job in college football, to go to Michigan, a program that has been riddled with controversies the last 5 years. So that would be a win for Georgia fans from the fan side. It would be a win also because you would have a first-year head coach at Alabama. Now, as much as everyone loves Glenn Schuman, as much as we think he's going to be a great head coach someday, he'll be a first-year head coach. Kirby Smart was 7-5 his first year as a head coach. Like, it doesn't always go smoothly. So that, again, is a reset for that. If it's the other hypothetical where there's all this sliding around, well, that's great. Missouri's getting a new coach. Alabama's getting a new coach. LSU's getting a new coach. All these teams that Georgia's facing, Ole Miss will have a new coach. All these teams that Georgia's going to be facing in that situation would all have new coaches, would all be starting from square one. Like, both of these situations are very, very, very good for Georgia, even though it is costing your defensive coordinator, Glenn Schuman. But let's be honest. We feel like inside that building, and especially on this network, there's always been kind of the, hey, that day's going to come, be prepared for it. Like, everyone is kind of operating under the assumption that you are on borrowed time as far as having Glenn Schuman as your defensive coordinator. We've had the articles written, we've done it all times where it's like Glenn Schuman taking this interview, or Glenn Schuman might go here. This is a name to watch. He's on hot board. So I think that would be fantastic news for Georgia, as much as it would suck to lose Glenn Schuman.
Yeah, and I mean, what would be interesting this time around about the Alabama job opening up is that, you know, Dan Lanning was the hottest name when that job opened up, but that dude has been so adamant about how much he loves Oregon and how much he wants to be there and that he's staying there.
How much Nike stock you think Phil's giving him?
Enough for him to be like, don't even call. Like, I'm here.
Every time Peyton talks about it, he's like, y'all have no idea his deal.
Yeah.
And I would imagine Dan has let him know that, you know, I'm set. I'm good.
And so for Alabama, you probably do look at Glenn Schuman in that situation and say, all right, well, we tried to hire one of the biggest names in the coaching world that time around, and it lasted 2 years before he jumped to the next one. Why don't we try and get a guy that wants to just be somewhere?
And by the way, he's talking about Shu.
Yeah.
Graduated from there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a homecoming of sorts. Like, it would be the, hey, this guy loves Alabama. He went there. He coached there under Saban, under Smart. He has the coaching tutelage. Like, at some point, I think schools are going to realize we need to stop trying to hit home run grand slams and just get coaches that actually want to be there and aren't there for dollar signs.
Yeah, you try telling that fan base, though.
I get it. I get it. And it just so happens that Georgia was fortunate enough to work that Kirby Smart literally checked all those boxes. He was a Georgia grad. He was a hungry coach. He was up and coming. He had Saban tutelage, and he loved the University of Georgia. Like, it is a one-of-one hire in college sports right now.
All right, coming up tomorrow here on the network, I've got a Miami Hurricanes film study for you guys. I'm also tonight going to study Texas A&M and bring kind of a joint film study tomorrow. We will release both. We'll release Miami and everything about that offense. Wait until you see Malachi Toney tomorrow. That's not even a Miami breakdown. That's a Malachi Toney breakdown. You need to watch it. That is a must-watch for everybody who loves football. And I know there's a lot of people in the local hour that want nothing to do with watching Carson Beck play football. And we ain't even really going to watch that one. We're going to watch number 10 do his thing. After that, we're going to take a look at A&M. and see what they got going on offensively. It's been a great time and a great week here on the network, pushing up on 90,000 subscribers. Another shout out to Gillis for joining us this week. That's been a huge bump. Shout out to all the folks from Oklahoma that have found us as of late as well. We appreciate all you folks. Shout out to Gabe Eichert and all those guys over there with his podcast and that platform. What a tremendous opportunity there from those guys. So appreciate everybody. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. Love you. Bye.